Well, you're very welcome to Fight Zone. We are on the road again. This time we're in Oldham. We've got a stacked bill and we've got a little bit of history in the making tonight as well. More on that in a second. We're going to get underway in just a second. Leighton Collymore, who sold a good few tickets in against the very seasoned Lewis Van Pooch, he'll get us underway. But again, Glenn McCrory, former IBF Cruiserweight Champion of the World, the voice of boxing. Now, we see it all, don't we, on Fight Zone in terms of prospects, some seasoned campaigners, and again, a few fighters that you've got your eye on tonight.
It certainly is. Joe Garside, Leon Williams, and Callum Simpson. You know, three good kids. Simpson especially is making some waves, and people are talking about him. So looking forward to see what he can do with a tough journeyman.
And Steve, now you're a bit of a stat man. You know you're boxing inside out, and again, you've been doing your research as you always do. We have got a little bit of history because it is the first time that two of the female fighters have boxed for an area title. I mean, again, it's incredible it seems that it's taken so long.
That's right, the vacant Central Area Super Featherweight title, Lindsay Budzinski from Bolton against a local rival, Jade Taylor, who's from Salford, so neighbouring towns almost, so a lot of pride at stake there. What's good about this this could be the springboard towards the British Boxing Board of Control, allowing women's fighting for the British title. It's been hard knocking through that door. It's been like knocking down at the biggest oak tree in the world to get women a chance. And tonight, the first area title, the important thing is it's a British Boxing Board of Control blessed belt. So it's onwards and upwards for these. And I spoke to both girls in the week. They're both honoured to be having this chance, either for an area title tonight, and they've sparred once or twice before. They know of each other, and of course it's that when it's two male fighters, it's Bolton v Salford. There's bragging rights at stake, and there's plenty of that tonight.
What's great is it's great that it's on Fight Zone.
Yeah,
well, it is indeed, and the thing is as well, I think that Kevin Maree has said that the loser will get a rematch should they want it as well. So again, there's plenty of interest in this one.
Yeah, look, the only thing that, not concerns me, you think, wow, how's it going to develop later on? Both girls have only ever done 4 rounds. This is 10 two-minute rounds. But when I was speaking to them the other day, both of them seemed keen for the jump up to 3-minute rounds, and there certainly wasn't any qualms about them doing 10 rounds, Dom.
So obviously they're happy enough in their fitness, but it is a huge leap, that, isn't it, Glenn?
It's a very big leap, and you've got to... But, I think that's confidence in the fighters, that they know they put the work in the gym, they know they're prepared to do that amount of rounds, so I think they'll be ready.
What's amazing about it is now, there's excitement over a women's area title fight. In 10 years' time, it's going to be the norm. There's going to be so many more women boxing and women boxing for British titles and area titles.
Well, let's get on with the action, shall we? Because we've got plenty to pack in here in Oldham. So it's over to our MC for the first time tonight, Stephen Reid.
Ladies and gentlemen, good evening and a very warm welcome to the Leisure Centre here at Oldham. We have a historic night of championship boxing lined up for you this evening, and it's all brought to you courtesy of Frank Duffin Promotions in association with Maree Boxing. All of tonight's show will be streamed live and exclusive on Fightzone TV. Sanctioned by the British Boxing Board of Control, your stewards in charge this evening are Ian Metcalf and Sally C. Your referees are A-star referee Mark Lyson from Liverpool and Darren Sargentson from Manchester. And your timekeepers, Amjad Ditter from Wakefield and Peter Humphrey from Doncaster. We start your action this evening with a 4-round contest in the Cruiserweight division. So please welcome your first boxer to the ring. From Lydney in Gloucestershire, it's Poochie, Louis Van Pooch.
Ready or not, here I come, you can't hide. Gonna find you and take it slowly. Ready or not, here I come, you can't hide. Gonna find you and make you want me.
Now that I escape, sleep, walk away. Those who correlate know the world ain't kick. Jail bars ain't good.
And now, ladies and gentlemen, please welcome, making his way to the ring, he's from right here in Oldham, Leighton Collymore.
Yeah. Way up. Turn it all up.
take away from a nigga. Fucking with the kid and pray for your nigga. I got girls in real life trying to fuck up my day. Fuck going online, that ain't part of my day. I got real shit poppin' with my family too. I got niggas that can never leave Canada too. I got 2 mortgages, 30 million in total. I got niggas that are still trying fucking me over. I got rap niggas that I gotta act like I like. But my acting days are over, fuck them niggas for life. Yeah, I got enemies, got a lot of enemies. Got a lot of people trying to drain me of this energy. Trying to take away from a nigga. Fucking with the kid and pray for your nigga. I got people talking down, man, like I give a fuck. I bought this one a purse, I bought this one a truck, I bought this one a house, I bought this one a mall.
Ladies and gentlemen, your first contest of the evening, 4 3-minute rounds in the Cruiserweight division. This contest is brought to you courtesy of Frank Duffing Promotions in association with Maree Boxing and streamed live and exclusive on Fightzone TV. Your referee for this contest is Mr. Mark Lyson and your timekeeper, Peter Humphrey. Introducing first, boxing out of your blue corner, he wears the white shorts with the purple trim. Official weight, 12 stone, 11 pounds, 7 ounces. Tonight, he takes part in his 155th professional contest. From Lydney, Gloucestershire, it's Louis Van Pooch, Poochie. And opposing him across the ring, boxing out of your red corner, he wears the white and gold shorts. Official weight, 11 stone, 12 pounds and 5 ounces. He's a former elite kickboxer. He won multiple titles in kickboxing, including English Muay Thai champion, 3 times British Muay Thai champion, and K1 European champion. As a professional boxer, he's undefeated. 2 wins from 2 contests. From Oldham, Leighton Collymore. 4 3-minute rounds.
So our referee for our first contest, I should say, here on Fight Zone is Mr. Mark Lyson. And our opening bout, this a 4-rounder in the Cruiserweight division. Wearing the silver and gold is Leighton Collymore, who has shifted plenty of tickets here in his hometown. So it's an early start for him. And the very well-travelled Louis Van Pooch wearing the silver with claret and blue, edging forward on the front foot against the rangy Collymore. From an extensive kickboxing background, he's had a couple of pro fights. He's been in against Kristaps Zulgis and Gennady Krajewski, who we've seen many times on Fight Zone. This is the 3rd professional bout for the 25-year-old, while compared to the opposition tonight, who takes to the ring for the 155th time as a professional. Pooch, 10 wins, 143 defeats, and 3 draws, but always gives great value for money inside and outside the ring. So for the first time during the action, it's a big welcome to the former IBF Cruiserweight Champion of the world, Glenn McCrory, the voice of boxing.
Well, it's good to be here in Oldham. And Leighton Collymore, who brings lots of fans, very good support, getting off to a good start. Tall, rangy, using that jab well. And switching to the body nicely there. Now, this is his 155th fight. What a character he is, Louis Van Pooch. And more often than not, he puts up a good performance, but he's struggling a bit in this opening round with the height and reach of Collymore.
He's got a stiff jab, Collymore, and utilising it very, very well. Very experienced in combat, mainly kickboxing. Very decorated world champion before switching. And we see many examples of that as well these days. Lots of kickboxers turning to traditional boxing.
Well, they're even having a few words in there. Just
That's Pooch's style, though, isn't it, really?
He
knows every trick.
He hit Pooch on the back of the head, and Van Pooch had a few things to say to him.
They're still in there chatting, as you say.
Well, he'll obviously, Collymore will want to try and impress, and he will be looking for the stoppage against Poochie, but that would be impressive. Very rarely does he get stopped. But, the last time was July 2017. So very durable, Pooch.
Well, he certainly is. Knows his way around. He actually won a couple of weeks ago as well. Beat Joe Collins on his debut. Had the arm raised, but that was fairly uncomfortable at times in that opening round. Good work from Leighton Collymore.
It was, he didn't rush anything. He didn't get carried away. He, tried to get the center of the ring and use his jab and just break through the defenses of Pooch. And, it was a thoughtful start from Collymore. But I think he'll be looking to pick it up a little bit as the rounds go on. Certainly, I'd expect more in the second round.
Corners, 10 seconds. Seconds out, round 2.
So Collymore flicking that jab out again. It's still front foot work, though, from Pooch, isn't it? He likes to do that, likes to just always try and take centre of the ring, and he lands a decent hook there in that exchange, but now Collymore goes to work.
Well, that just livened Collymore up, didn't it? Didn't do him any favours, Pooch. But, he's solid, he's sturdy, he takes the shots, comes back and smiles at his opponent.
And you made the point as well, we were chatting to him ahead of the contest. I mean, he'll get in there with anybody. He's certainly not a natural cruiserweight, is he? Let's face it.
Absolutely. I mean, I was really quite surprised, standing, talking to him, eye to eye, that, how much smaller he was. And, you'd think he could probably make welterweight, with the right training. But he's quite happy, he's quite happy going through the weights and taking on anybody.
Yeah, he was in action last week. Tends to get out extremely regularly. He's in against Bradley Goldsmith, a 4-rounder defeat last week. Good jab to the body from Collymore.
But you've got to commend Pooch on his defensive work. There's good movement of the head there, got the hands nice and high. And Collymore is being made to miss quite a lot. Nice, just slip to the side there. The punches just slide past his head, and it really is, to get to be in your 155 fight, you need to have good defensive skills.
Well, Pooch had to suck up a decent body shot there from Collymore, though. And Pooch complimenting the work of Collymore then as that shot got through the guard.
Well, he's a real character who's lived the life. He's a lift engineer, former barber, and was in the British Army doing tours of Afghanistan.
Well, they're still full of chat, the two guys in the ring. But 2 solid rounds for Leighton Collymore, Glenn.
Yeah, the good work was from him. There's a little bit of action from Pooch, who just went to take the fight to Collymore a little bit, and you know, woke the beast in Collymore, who then started to unload with punches and put a few hurtful ones in there. But we're going to see a little bit more of that.
Well, Lewis Van Pooch, he'll be in the car on the motorway as soon as showered and changed and off to his mother's 60th birthday party tonight.
I was going to say, he needs to get a hurry. He needs to get a hurry on.
Corners 10 seconds.
He's going to miss the food.
Seconds out, round 3.
He just uses the guard, Pooch, to block the stinging jab of Collymore, who just gets the combination off again.
And I would imagine, you know, they'll not take too long to you know, take the leash off Leighton Collymore. You know, he's got extensive experience in other styles of fighting, starting with the kickboxing. You know, many championships has won, so you know, he knows what it's like to be in there. So I think, you know, he's got that sort of experience. He's got talent. He's got, you know, a good jab, you know, good variety. So, you know, they'll be looking to move him pretty quick. 25 years of age.
Well, he likes to switch as well, doesn't he? And you can see that he wants to entertain. It's still very early in his professional career, of course. Just his 3rd fight. But popular lad, and again, it's what all the promoters want, isn't it? A fella that can shift the tickets, get them in early, which is exactly what Collymore's done tonight here in Oldham. Well, Mark Lyson, just having a word there. This A-star referee who's here with us tonight in Oldham, he'll be in between Tyson Fury and Dillian Whyte in a couple of weeks. Good work again from Collymore, just pins Van Pooch on the ropes, who has to use all his wily skills to get out the way.
Well, he's doing the right thing, Van Pooch, by trying to get close and just not give Collymore that distance.
There is some truth in being in the eye of the storm, isn't there?
But you're right, Dom. You know, he likes to switch. He's good with it's good foot movement as well. You know, change stance, switches angle, and you know, certainly giving Pooch something to think about.
There's a little blood around the nose of Lewis Van Pooch. Well, another clear round for Collymore. How do you assess his shot selection in that round, Glenn?
Well, he picked up the pace a little more. You know, he's trying to show some different things and try some different things. It's a tough task going in with a journeyman as accomplished as Lewis Van Pooch. But you know, he's trying to make it work for him. He's trying to do a few different things. You know, that maybe you don't get to try in sparring.
He's got plenty of experience in that corner as well. Joe Pennington from the North Side Boxing Gym in Clayton, just down the road in Manchester. He knows exactly what he's doing.
Corners 10 seconds.
And Collymore, who proudly wears the flags of Barbados and Ireland. Decent headshots from Collymore. Pooch flicks a jab back. Good snappy hands.
Yeah, and you know, it is good variety. You know, lots of different angles. You know, fighters that are not defensively as good as Pooch, you know, he'll get through with decent shots. It's difficult for an opponent when you've got somebody laughing.
We can hear the laughs clearly here from our position ringside. It's very confident work from Collymore, isn't it?
It is, yeah. He knows what he's doing. He's obviously getting good work in sparring. You know, he looks pretty accomplished for someone that's, you know, only had two fights as a pro.
What do you make of the footwork as well? Because a lot of those that come from a kickboxing, Muay Thai kind of background can be very square on, and maybe, you know, the feet are something that stand out for the wrong reasons. But he's quite sprightly. Moves well.
He's very sprightly, and also, you know, he's constantly looking for different angles to attack from or to defend from. So, you know, he's thinking in there, he's trying different things.
He's certainly enjoying himself in there now.
Well, I think with someone like Pooch, it's going to be very frustrating to face him. So, you know, you've got to try and go in there and just make the best of it. Get the work, think you're in there for the distance, and enjoy yourself. You get a chance to entertain your fans a little bit.
And Van Pooch just, well, complains of a low blow there. The final knockings of the fourth and final round. And there it is. Well, Leighton Collymore, with his support in fine voice here at the Oldham Leisure Centre, gets the job done pretty emphatically. You made the point, Glenn. Very, very hard to do an awful lot with Lewis Van Pooch. He's so awkward for anyone to face. He's so skilled as an away fighter.
Yeah, I think, you know, anybody that knows Poochie, you know, knows exactly what they're going to be in for. Knows they're gonna have to work hard to try and make any impression whatsoever. And you know, you got to try and steal the show from him because he likes to entertain himself. You know, the fans like him.
Well, he had a big entrance planned, but didn't have the music for him.
Well,
so his Toy Story entrance was put on hold. But
thwarted.
We can get the scorecard from our scoring referee, Mark Lyson, because it's with our MC, Stephen Reid.
Ladies and gentlemen, after 4 rounds of action, your referee, Mark Lyson, scores the contest 40 points to 36 for your winner, Leighton Collymore. And your appreciation, please, for Louis Van Pooch.
Well, usually you say, well, it's all smiles now after they've had a fight. 2 fighters, 2 boxers, but it was all smiles all the way through that, which is very Lewis Van Pooch. But certainly a good exercise for Leighton Collymore, who moves on to 3-0 as a professional. Lewis Van Pooch can have a quick turnaround, get down to Gloucestershire for the party to celebrate his mother's 60th. And he takes good acclaim as well from the crowd here as he makes his way back to the dressing rooms. And a still very, very sprightly Leighton Collymore has just danced through the ropes, and he is now ringside with Steve Lillis.
Leighton, congratulations, win number 3. Was it hard keeping your concentration in there?
He's an amazing opponent, do you know what I mean? He's been through the rounds, he's been with the best. You know, so I've got to go in there and learn from him, do you know what I mean? Like, it was 150 fight, do you know what I mean? So, massive respect to him and what he does in the game, do you know what I mean? So, I have nothing but respect to him, and massively, do you know what I mean? So, for me to go in there and to learn something from him, can't appreciate that any more than that, do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I was just saying, in round 2, his cornerman, Richard Farnham, was saying, save your energy, and I just saw you look up and what's he on about this guy?
Oh, no, yeah, so we just was in first gear, do you know what I mean? Like, just, you know, just learning, do you know what I mean? Because obviously, I prefer the long distance fights, do you know what I mean? 4 rounds, it's nice, but by the time 5 and 6 comes, that's when I'm starting to warm up, starting to get a bit loose, starting to get ready to go. So for me now, it's just learning my skills, making sure that the jab's sharp, making sure my eyes are ready, do you know what I mean? So then when I get some later rounds and I've got the fitness for it, it'll all come together and it'll be like a jigsaw, it'll just all fit together.
Final question to you, what made you switch to conventional boxing after a successful career in kickboxing and K1?
So, like I say, I love the sport to the day I died, do you know what I mean? It was what made me like what I am now today, do you know what I mean? So I will never like dishonour that in the slightest. But I've always wanted to be a boxer, do you know what I mean? And I've done what I needed to do in that sport and accomplished what I wanted to accomplish. So for me, it was just a new chapter, something to succeed in and something to make me a millionaire in 10 years' time. So that's what we're aiming for, do you know what I mean? And we'll do it, definitely. So many more to come.
One quick question for your trainer and manager, Joe Pennant, and where will he be in 10 years?
I think he'll be pretty tight level in another, say, 10 fights. That's his 3rd fight now, so get another fight in June, same show, Oldham. Got a good fan base here as well, and just build up from there. I think it's sparring 10 and 12 rounds with people like Reece Cartwright and Bradley Ray and all that, so he's got good sparring to get him ready for them title fights. But I know he's got very good endurance, so in the longer rounds, that's when he become better in the title fights. 10 round, you know, like area titles.
Thanks, Joe. Thanks, Leighton. Back to you, Dom.
Thank you, Steve. So Leighton Collymore, looking forward to the longer duration fights. That's when he's going to warm into things. 4 rounds. He wants 5, 6, 7, 8, of course. Looks very fit and ready to do that. But on we go with the action. Here's our MC, Stephen Reed.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome your next boxer to the ring. Boxing out of Liverpool, it's the Baltic Bomber, Gennady Krajewski.
My lover's got no money, he's got his strong beliefs. My lover's got no power, he's got his strong beliefs. My lover's got no fame, he's got his strong beliefs. My lover's got no money, he's got his strong beliefs. Want more and more, people just want more and more freedom and love. What is looking for? Want more and more, people just want more and more freedom and love. What is looking for? Freed from desire, mind and senses purified. Freed from desire, mind and senses purified. Freed from desire, mind and senses purified. Freed from desire. Na 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 na
And now, ladies and gentlemen, please welcome to the ring from Witness, Leon Willings.
Thank God, can't keep blessing. Aki's outside the windows, praying, hit the strip. See what my nigga 6'6", saying smoke a split for breakfast. And it's time to get his paper. Hence the chick DM says she trying to win me later. Young and tired of plotting on a movie. Went
Ladies and gentlemen, this bout is 4 3-minute rounds in the light heavyweight division. Brought to you courtesy of Frank Duffin Promotions in association with Maree Boxing and streamed live and exclusive on Fightzone TV. Your referee for this contest is Darren Sargentson and your timekeeper Amjad Ditter. Introducing first, boxing out of your blue corner, he wears the black and silver shorts, official weight 12 stone 5 pounds and 5 ounces. Tonight he takes part in his 33rd professional contest, boxing out of Liverpool, the Baltic Bomber, Gennady Krajewski. And opposing him across the ring, boxing out of your red corner, he wears the black and pink shorts, official weight 12 stone 1 pound 2 ounces. He brings an undefeated professional record, 3 wins from 3 contests, 1 win coming inside the distance. From Widnes, Leon Willings. 4 3-minute rounds.
Darren Sargentson calls both men to the middle of the ring. This 4 3-minute rounds in the light heavyweight division. Leon Willings, the 21-year-old from Widnes, wearing the black shorts with pink and silver panels. This is his 4th professional bout. 3-0 so far, all going his way. He's got 1 stoppage to his name as well against Tim Ventrella. He's been in with Seamus Devlin, the busiest fighter in Britain. That was his debut, and Yelton Neves last time out, that back in February. In against Gennady Krajewski, wearing black, the Baltic Bomber, and blazoned across the band. This is his 33rd professional contest, still looking for his first win, 32 defeats, been stopped 5 times. Busy fighter who wears all black, but he's awkward, Glenn, so Willings will know that. He's probably going to have to be a bit patient, deal with that awkward style, but he is a big puncher, switch hitter from an up-and-coming stable over in Widnes with the training team of Terry and Nigel Spencer.
Well, Krajewski, he is without a win, but you know, he's pretty tough customer, and as you said, awkward stance, and he's getting a bit better as well, so it's no foregone conclusion, but there's good things being said of Willings, who's undefeated. Looks a confident type, just looking to try and get a left hook to the body working there.
Willings just having a look. Good shot to the body. Good solid double jab there as well.
That's better from him, just to start, instead of looking for the big shot early on, you know, he's just got to try and pick his way in, use the jab, just find the openings.
It's decent reflexes, Willings. Good 1-2 as well.
Yeah, holds the hands pretty low. Maybe just that's because the sort of opponent he's got.
Well, Dennis Hobson has arrived. Straight from Tenerife, he's telling us now, ringside. Well, a very competent first round for Leon Willings, who was patient, took his time, was looking for particular shots. He's got, seems to have an old head on young shoulders there, Glenn.
He does, yeah, he didn't panic. You know, he didn't rush anything, took his time, tried to find an angle, carries the hands pretty low, but, you know, as the opponents get better, you know, hopefully he'll change that.
One thing you notice as well, he's got a great physique for light heavy, hasn't he? Big, broad shoulders, long arms. Probably still growing as well.
Yeah, and this, you know, at this stage in his career as a young prospect, you know, this is the sort of opponent that he's likely to face. This is, you know, he needs to learn. He needs to learn the game, get some experience in front of a crowd, and that's exactly what he's doing. And he's strong, Krajewski. Been stopped 5 times, but not recently. You know, he's getting better and better at defending himself and getting through fights.
Yeah, he really is a tough character. The man originally from Lithuania, firmly rooted on Merseyside now. And you'd learn a few tricks doing the doors on Liverpool, which he's done for many a year as well.
Another fighter that's out often. Four fights last month.
Well, at booming times, really, aren't they, for the journeyman road warrior types? They're in massive demand up and down the country.
Well, boxing, you know, showing, you know, having great popularity these days. You know, more and more fighters turning pro, more and more women turning pro. You know, the game is really on the up.
And we have the first female Central Area title fight tonight as well, of course, here on Fight Zone. That top of the bill, Lindsay Buczynski against Jade Taylor. A real cracker in prospect there. Also Callum Simpson, a lot of excitement about his career. Jack Fay, Jermaine Springer, Michael Ramabaletsa against Brett Fido. That's a really interesting one. Joe Garside as well. So some great prospects. We like to bring you plenty of prospects on Fight Zone. And good work from Krajewski there. Just gets the shots off. You said it before, Glenn, he has improved massively, hasn't he, since we saw him probably back in May, June of last year.
Yeah, he has. You know, he was always strong and a little bit awkward, but, you know, his defense is getting better. He's starting to, you know, you see him attacking more and more. He's getting a bit more confidence in his own ability.
Well, you always make the point as well that it takes an away fighter a long time to learn the trade, to learn the art of being in there and surviving and knowing what you're doing.
Well, when you're boxing 4 times a month, I mean, that's incredible. You're professional boxing 4 times a month. You're coming through fights against good opposition. You need to know what you're doing.
Well, he has been busy, I think, rivaling Seamus Devlin, who I'm sure would have had about 35 fights already this year had he not been injured, and that just paused his progress. He's desperate to become a Centurion as quickly as possible, but a busy fighter, Seamus. But good work from Leon Willings, I should say.
Well, I think we'll see him trying to be a little bit more aggressive. He was pretty much, you know, on the move, trying something different in the last round.
Round 3.
And could just get a little bit more success. So I think he needs to stamp his authority back on this. And comes straight out, nice solid left jab.
subdued attack from Krajewski, but he did get a shot through.
Yeah, he did get a right hand, hit the target. That, you know, just remind Williams to keep those hands up, whatever the opponent.
Yeah, when a big lad like Krajewski's throwing, you don't want to get in the way of that anyway, do you? Let's face it.
No, I mean, he's trying to just control this from the jab to a nice little switch hit there. Just stepped off to the right, a little flick with the right hand, just rocked the head back of Krajewski. So, you know, there's a few little tricks there. Turns the shoulder nicely, uses that for defense. So he's got good skills, Williams.
Good combination as well, finishing on the uppercut there, Willings.
Yeah, Krajewski didn't like that last uppercut. Not that I'm sure anybody would have liked it. In fairness.
Yeah, you probably won't find too many that enjoy one of them.
I would have probably brought a smile from Pucci.
Yeah, maybe, yeah, only him.
Well, he's loading up a little bit more now, Williams. And this is better. And I think he needs to keep his work rate solid. He needs to keep the punches going in. Wild work from Krajewski.
Oh, Willings just having a breather there. Good shot to the body.
I mean, he'll look at this back, and I think one of the habits that he's got to get out of is he drops his hands when he leans back away from punches.
Well, a nice uppercuts at the end of that round.
Yeah, good use of the jab. Stepped it up in that round. Got some better work going on. Nice chip shot there. Step to the side. You know, so a few nice moves he had there. But one of them that I don't like is dropping your hands and leaning away from punches. You need to go back with your hands up, because sooner or later somebody will catch you.
Well, 3 solid rounds in favour of Leon Willings on the Glenn McCrory scorecard.
10 seconds, corners.
You'd probably give Krajewski a portion of the second round, wouldn't you, when he let his hands go a little bit, but he still didn't take the round.
No, still didn't take the round. A little bit more success, but so far, you know, he's dominating the fight, looking good. Willings, see if he can try and steal the show a little bit with a good last round.
He does like an uppercut, doesn't he, Willings?
Yeah, he's got some nice moves.
Got to remember he's only 21 as well, and this just his 4th professional fight. Good work to the body and head there from Willings. Just getting urged on now by the travelling Widnes folk inside the Oldham Leisure Centre.
Yeah, and he's another fighter that I think, you know, when he starts to do longer rounds, you know, fighters start to tire, you know, he'll find his openings, and, you know, he'll be an eye-catching fighter who's got a, you know, you can tell he's got a bit of a punch there.
He's got a bit of style as well, hasn't he? And you can see he wants to entertain.
Yeah, he's enjoyed it. He's got a good support. And, you know, he wants to show off a little bit for them. Nothing wrong with that. Krzyzewski, I don't think he's going to get rid of that 0 in this fight. And that must be a pretty tough thing to carry around with you. You know you can fight. You know you're a handful. But when people ask the record, you're going to say, how many fights you had. You're going to say 33. How many you won? None. And that doesn't tell the story.
No,
of
but it can happen throughout the career. Curtis Gargano, we see on the scene quite a lot, obviously on Fightzone as well. Didn't have the arm raised, but very busy campaigner. Now trainer, obviously manager. But Willings will want to have the final say, the final round here. Good hooks to body, makes Krzyzewski just swing and miss. Gets the jab working again.
Yeah, I think the fans in this camp will be happy with the performance. Managed to showboat through most of it.
And there we have it, 4 rounds complete. 4 good, solid rounds for Liam Willings, the man from Widnes.
Yeah, nice style. There's just a few things like the leaning back there that, I think he has to address because we're better fighters. He'll get caught, but makes a few mistakes. But there's a lot to like as well for Leon Willings, and he makes it 4 out of 4.
Well, he's had good work in the gym, sparring the likes of Mark Jeffers, real talent Mark, and Jack Cullen, who are a really good fighter as well. So he's had good work there, evident, I think, in that performance. And at 21, a lot more to come from Liam Willings. And Gennady Krzyzewski just gets checked over by the doctor. But both men are now in with Darren Sargentson, our referee. So here's Stephen Kay.
Ladies and gentlemen, after 4 rounds of action, your referee Darren Sargentson scores the contest 40 points to 36 for your winner, Leon Willings.
So good support. We're
And
all
your
happy with that.
appreciation, please, for Gennady Krzyzewski.
Now Krzyzewski makes his way out of the ring, gets a good ovation. And Leon Willings just poses for a snap for his fans before making his way to our man who is waiting, and that is Steve Lillis.
Leon, congratulations, win number 3, learning all the time. 4, so I apologise, win number 4, learning all the time.
Yeah, 4th and out, happy to get the rounds out again, so only young, so I want to get as much experience as I can. Don't want to be stopping everyone, but yeah, obviously Gennady's a tough opponent, he's very strong, so happy to get the rounds out, yeah, happy.
Yeah. People will look at his record, but they won't realise what a good experience they are for young developing fighters like you.
Definitely, yeah. Like I said, I think he's had over 30 fights, Gennady. Obviously, he's been in with all the top prospects in the country, so yeah, I'm happy to get in with him. Obviously, he's a good fight for any prospect to have. Obviously, he's a very durable, tough man, so yeah.
When you turn pro, reading your manager Kevin Maree saying it would be kid gloves for you. Take it easy. Are you impatient? Are you happy to go along with Kevin and Terry, your trainer?
I'm very patient. I'm happy. I'm in this for the long run. I'm not in the sport for a couple of years. Get a few knockouts and then lose myself and retire. I'm in this for the long run. So I'm willing to take it. However, Kev wants to go along with it, and yeah, I'm happy.
Yeah, it's all about not just fighting for the titles, winning them and keeping them.
100%. That's what I mean. So I'm only 21. Not 22 till towards the end of next year, so yeah.
You're still a baby in boxing terms. What weight do you see yourself eventually developing into? You already look a very big super middleweight.
Yeah, like I said, super middleweight. I can make that comfortably with a water cut. A few of my stable mates say I could even make middleweight, the 72. Obviously, that'll be maybe if it was for a title, I could make the middleweight, but like I said, I might end up going into a light heavyweight eventually. Fingers crossed I don't, because I'm happy and comfortable at super middleweight. So yeah, for now, super middleweight is my weight, yeah.
Well, thanks very much, Leon. Congratulations on win number 4. Yeah. Back to you.
Thank you very much indeed, Steve. I tell you what, he'd be a monster at middleweight, wouldn't he, Glenn?
He certainly would. You know, if you can make that company, that would be worth a try. He's big, very strong, very fit, and a lot of ability.
Yep, the 21-year-old Leon Willings, still growing, could be light heavy, going to campaign at super middleweight, where he looks big at that weight. Anyway, let's get on with the action. Here's Stephen Reed.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome your next boxer to the ring. From Hyde, it's the choir boy, Dale Arrowsmith. And now, ladies and gentlemen, please welcome, making his ring walk from Halifax, it's the Ghost, Joe Garside.
That's my man. I heard these niggas supposed to be like locking down the industry and some shit, some power shit. Dog, that's my man to me. So what I'm doing, my man's in there. Let's go. Because that's my man. You know. So you know, when you fucking with me, you fucking with me.
Ladies and gentlemen, this bout is 4 3-minute rounds in the middleweight division. Brought to you courtesy of Frank Duffing Promotions in association with Maree Boxing and streamed live and exclusive on Fightzone TV. Your referee for this contest is Mark Lyson and your timekeeper, Peter Humphrey. Introducing first, boxing out of your blue corner, he wears the black and silver shorts, official weight 11 stone, 3 pounds and 2 ounces. Tonight he takes part in his 62nd professional contest. From Hyde, Lancashire, it's the choir boy, Dale Arrowsmith. And opposing him across the ring, boxing out of your red corner, he wears the black and gold shorts, official weight 11 stone, 1 ounce. He's a former senior elite regional champion, undefeated in his professional boxing career, 3 wins, 3 contests. From Halifax, West Yorkshire, the Ghost, Joe Garside. 4 3-minute rounds.
So Mark Lyson, our referee, calls both men to the middle. Dale Arrowsmith. I think he's on Fightzone as much as me and you, Glenn. The man from Hyde wearing black, yeah, with the silver trim in against Joe Garside from Halifax, who wears black and gold. The Ghost, the 25-year-old, this is 4th professional contest, 3 wins so far, all via points, all in 4-rounders against the 27-year-old Dale Arrowsmith from just down the road in Hyde. 62 professional bouts now. 3 wins, 56 defeats, a couple of draws. As ever, doesn't tell the full story, of course. Very, very competent fighter, Dale. Very busy in the away corner, just about every week, every other week. But Joe Garside, a real talent, one that his manager Kevin Maree is very excited about, and it's his first fight with new trainer Al Oster tonight. Or will we see anything different?
he's giving away a bit of height and reach, Garside. But you know, he's the one that's landing the punches.
Well, Arrowsmith doing what he does and uses the ring well. He's got the tight guard when needed. It's all decent front footwork though from Garside, picking shots well. Arrowsmith just lets the hands go himself.
And he's, you know, he's another of the circuit's very good, a very accomplished journeyman. Dale Arrowsmith knows exactly what he's doing in there. Comes to fight week in, week out, puts up a good show. Not often in the winning corner, but you know, he's usually in competitive fights.
Well, from a real boxing family, of course, as well. His granddad, Roy Richardson, that brilliant club, passed away recently. An absolute stalwart of the boxing scene in Manchester and beyond. His uncle Eddie Copeland, his cousin Stacey Copeland.
Well, he's unloading quite well. Joe Garside, he's nice and relaxed. You know, getting his work rate up, and you know, not being phased by Arrowsmith, who drops his hands and shrugs his shoulders, talks to his opponents. You know, real boxer tricks. And Garside doing the right thing. You know, giving him due respect, but going about his job. Well, round number one for Garside. Picked away with plenty punches. Landed, boxed when he had to box. When Arrowsmith wanted to try and be competitive, he just got on the back foot and boxed, and you know, kept himself nice and calm.
Well, that's an interesting point, because how hard is it? Have you been in with opponents when they are kind of taunting you, laughing, joking, talking to you all the way through, like Louis Van Pooch, like Dale Arrowsmith can do as well?
Yeah, I mean, that, you know, it's very distracting, and fighters that are experienced do stuff like that to put you off, to make you think. You know, and you've got to be very wary. You've always got to, you know, it doesn't matter who you're in the ring with, you've got to respect them.
And I didn't really want to bring it up, Glenn, but I know that Oldham hasn't always been a happy hunting ground for you. Brings back some bad memories, doesn't it?
It certainly does. Very bad memories. 35 years ago, my lowest point after becoming a heavyweight journeyman at only 20 years of age, I got well and truly thumped here by Roy Curry, British heavyweight contender, which rightly so put me down. You know, made me change plans, take my career into my own hands, get down to cruiserweight, and the rest history, Dom. I'll remind you of that World Championship.
I was going to say, you can't call yourself a journeyman at any point. Come on, Glenn. Yeah, you had a few blips.
Losing 5 out of 6 was a blip, but it tells a story. You know, if you're badly managed and you know you're going in, you're not getting trained properly, or you know, I didn't have a coach, so that made it a bit difficult, or a gym. So it was a tough part of my career without a coach in the gym. We come through it, Dom. We come through it.
Certainly do. But Garside, just, you know, that jab going. What would you want to see more of from him, Glenn?
Do you know, I think with this sort of opponent, he's got to be careful. It's about not getting hit himself. You know, because Arrowsmith, you know, he's a cagey opponent. He's a tough nut as well. So I think it's about learning. It's about getting your shots off, learning, and just trying to focus on what your job is.
Lara Smith doing what I think is now known as a Billy Joe Saunders there to the crowd. Just having a bit of fun in there. It might just have inspired Garside to get working that little bit harder. Now he's just sinking the shots in.
Well, I think that's really what Garside has to do. He's just got to keep focused. You know, and this is a lesson in concentration, doing your job, ignoring everything else, trying different combinations. You know, and just coming out with a good solid win and no damage. You know, what you don't want is cut eyes, you know, any sort of marks or damage.
Well, likewise, Lara Smith, or he won't be as busy as he wants to be. And he has the final say in that round.
Yeah, up the work rate, Garside. And, you know, concentration was good. Lara Smith tried to jibe him, wind him up a bit, as he's going to try and do, because, you know, you can buy time by doing that. You know, the fighter's thinking, what's coming now, what's coming now? And all the time you're thinking, he's not hitting me. So the more time you can buy without getting hit, and that, you know, just keeps a journeyman's career going that much longer.
Corners, 10 seconds.
Well, he's got a good stable of fighters. Al Oster in lead. Joe Garside, the latest recruit. He's a very good amateur, Joe Garside. Decorated. At 25. Everything gone his way so far in his pro career.
A little bit of action from Lara Smith, as he's going to do from time to time, just unload, get a few shots of himself.
He's really trying to sink them into the body, isn't he, Lara Smith?
Yep, he certainly lifted his game a little bit in this round. And the thing with the you know, the experienced journeyman, if you just take your foot off the gas and relax a little bit, you know, they think, whoa, you know, maybe he's now's the chance to pick it up. Maybe I could, you know, I can grab a win here.
Well, Lara Smith hasn't won for a while. Got to go back to 2018, Luke Middleton, but he did get a draw just before Christmas against Dominic Donegan, and we know what he is capable when he wants to turn it on.
Well, he's loaded up a bit now. That was a good left hook from Lara Smith.
Yeah, he's enjoying it in there a bit tonight, isn't he?
Yeah, this is certainly, you know, I think maybe the size, you know, he's got that height and reach, and I think he feels fairly strong in there, and that's made him just pick his game up a little bit, Lara Smith. You know, he's had some good work in this round. If he can keep it up, you know, this is a round he could maybe steal. Nice left hook to the body from Garside, but two good shots from Lara Smith, and a left hook to the head landed well. And this has been a good round for Dale Lara Smith.
Well, Lara Smith had the final say in that round as well. As you say, good work to head and body.
But that's all it takes, Dom. You know, one good round, in the third, and all of a sudden he's in the fight, Aaron Smith. You know, and I've got a 2-1. And you know, if he can go out there, and put in another good round, you know, he could maybe nick a draw.
As you say, I think because he does have the physical advantage, I think he's trying to bully Garside a little bit in those exchanges, isn't he?
He is, yeah, and I think he's got, you know, he realizes he's got the experience, he's got the strength, and you know, he just thinks in the third round, all of a sudden there was a bit of belief coming from Dale Arrowsmith, and I think we might see more of the same in this round. Certainly he's done enough to make Garside think a bit.
Well, I've done him a disservice as well, Dale Arrowsmith. I said he was back to Luke Middleton, but he actually did pick up a win against Luke Vaughan in September.
Right.
So
just in September.
My mistake there, forgot about that one. So it's not been so long for Dale. And maybe tonight's the night he fancies just upsetting the script a little bit again.
Well, he's definitely grown in belief, hasn't he, Arrowsmith? From just on the defensive to starting to think about attacking, and as you say, maybe even trying to bully Garside a little bit, as he's doing now. And I think, you know, he does feel, he certainly looks the stronger of the two in there, doesn't he? And he's, you know, he's biting down on his gum shield now, Arrowsmith. He's really trying to load up and get some power in those punches. Garside looking to fight back, though.
Well, it is good work for Garside, isn't it? He doesn't need to just be chasing around a journeyman. It's much better for him to have Dale Arrowsmith slinging as he is tonight.
Oh, certainly, you know, for learning, but you know,
it's slightly more painful than,
yeah,
than it might otherwise have been.
It's become a little bit tougher in there for Joe Garside. Nice body shot landed. Arrowsmith took the punches on the gloves, the first two. The body shot go through, but look at him fighting back, and a good right hand landed there from Arrowsmith. Well, he's certainly halfway through this last round. He's definitely winning it so far. Can he keep it up?
He really is sinking the shots in. Garside is quite happy to stay in range. A little smile from Arrowsmith. It's a great fourth round.
Well, it's exactly what I said earlier on. You know, if a journeyman just senses a little weakness, you know, a little opportunity, all of a sudden they become a different animal, don't they? Well, Arrowsmith has done really well in this last round, and I think last 30 seconds he needs to keep it up. Garside is trying to pick it up. He knows what's at stake. He doesn't want to blemish on his record, trying to keep Arrowsmith against the ropes. But Arrowsmith probably the better work in the fourth and final round for me.
Can Garside just find something at the end as both men are just going to trade? And there it is, an excellent fourth round from both men. Joe Garside and Dale Arrowsmith, they embrace, but well, Arrowsmith had a real go. He had a decent third, but the fourth round really did let the hands go. Garside, you had comfortably two up, Glenn, but it made it certainly interesting rounds 3 and 4.
It certainly did, and it was good to see the change. You know, he just obviously physically within himself felt a little bit stronger in there, and then, you know, he started to land with shots. When he did, he started to get successes, and, you know, Garside went on the back foot, and Joe did some good work early on, Joe Garside, but he was bullied a little bit over those last 2 rounds, and, you know, for me, this may well be a draw.
Well, let's see what Mark Lyson, he's the man that matters. He's the scoring referee, and he's given his card to our MC, Stephen Reed.
Ladies and gentlemen, after 4 rounds of action, your referee, Mark Lyson, scores the contest 39 points to 37 points for your winner, Joe Garside.
Well, Garside gets the win.
Always came
Obviously,
Dale Arrowsmith.
maybe thought a little bit more of the stylish work came from him. I thought it was closer than that. And, our Garside knows that he's been in a fight this evening.
Well, Joe Garside moves to 4 fights, 4 wins, all via points. Dale Arrowsmith moves to 3 wins, 57 defeats and 2 draws, but he's given a very good account of himself in there. And again, it's that old cliche, but a big, big learning fight for Joe Garside.
Very much so. And he knows that if he doesn't have to go in with somebody that's big and strong.
Well, let's hear what he's got to say for himself. He's with Steve.
Joe, congratulations, maintaining your unbeaten record. Tough 4 rounds for you.
Yeah, I knew it'd be tough. He's like naturally 1 or 2 divisions above me, and he's seasoned. So I knew I was in for a tough night, and that's what I got. Like, I learnt loads from that, so happy days.
Yeah, I mean, did you fear, particularly in the 3rd round, his strength? He seemed to be pushing you back a bit.
Yeah, I was being a bit naughty, to be fair, in front of me. But yeah, you could tell. And if I'd been doing shortcuts, thinking, oh, got an easy fight, I'd have probably got found out then. But yeah, I could tell, yeah, he was trying to push me around and that, and I had to really work towards the centre of the ring.
Did you feel round 4 you needed to push yourself on to make sure you sealed it?
Well, I was probably a bit naive really, because I thought I'd won the first 3 rounds, but like I didn't really think about close rounds. But like I've taken from that, push it in round 4, because if I didn't, I could have been going away with a draw now, and deservedly so if I didn't force the last round. So yeah.
So you said you learnt a lot. Tell me the one thing you learnt most from that fight.
Just like pacing the rounds, trying to finish strong every round. That's the main thing I've taken from that, yeah.
Thanks very much, Joe.
Thank you very much.
Back to you, Dom.
Thank you, Steve. And a good, honest appraisal of his night's work, Joe Garside, but made the point that you made very early on that, he was the much smaller man in there, had to be on his toes, and he accepted that, had he not switched on and got away with some of those exchanges, he would have been going on with a draw, as you called it.
Yeah, well, I think that the lesson he needs to take away from that is don't take on tough journeymen who are a couple of divisions higher than you, and bigger than you, because the things that we learn time after time is these guys can fight. They might have big losing records, but they can fight, and if they get the opportunity, they're going to try and get a win when they feel they can get that. So you've got to give people like Dale Arrowsmith, Pucci, the guys like that, you've got to give them a lot of respect for what they do, and turning up week after week and getting in good fights.
Well, I think we might have a good fight on the cards next as well, and a fella that fits in that category as well, that can really fight and can really turn it on, is Brett Fido. So really interesting to see how this one pans out. Over to our MC, Stephen Reed.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome your next boxer to the ring from Evesham, Brett Fido.
Just step your game up. You a kid. Step your game up. You drink keys. Step your game up. Is that your friend? Step your game up.
And now, ladies and gentlemen, please welcome to the ring from Preston, it's Michael, the Troublemaker, Ramabeleza. Ladies and gentlemen, this bout is 4 3-minute rounds in the super featherweight division, brought to you courtesy of Frank Duffing Promotions in association with Maree Boxing and streamed live and exclusive on Fightzone TV. Your referee for this contest is Darren Sargentson and your timekeeper Amjad Ditter. Introducing first, boxing out of your blue corner, he wears the red and black shorts. Official weight 9 stone, 2 pounds, 12 ounces. From his 89 professional contests, he brings a record of 15 victories and 5 draws whilst boxing in the away corner. 7 of those wins coming by way of knockout. He's from Evesham, Worcestershire, Brett the Threat Fido. And opposing him across the ring, boxing out of your red corner, he wears the red and white shorts. Official weight 9 stone, 3 pounds, 10 ounces. He brings a professional record of 18 victories from 36 contests, 8 of those wins coming by way of knockout. He's a former Commonwealth and WBC International Super Bantamweight title challenger. He's a former English Super Bantamweight champion and a former Central Area Super Featherweight champion. From Preston, Michael, the Troublemaker Ramabeletsa. 4 3-minute rounds.
So Michael Ramabeletsa wearing silver and red in against Brett Fido wearing black and red. 2 experienced campaigners. Ramabeletsa, 41 years of age now, the man from South Africa, now based in Preston. Brett Fido, well, we know what he's all about. He can really upset matters. With Spencer McCracken in the corner, shown plenty ambition of late. The man with 15 wins, 69 defeats, 5 draws against Ramabeletsa, who's got a half and half record, exactly. 18 wins, 18 defeats. Mixed in excellent company, picked up belts along the way as well. But according to his manager, Kevin Maree, this is the last chance saloon. He was stopped in devastating fashion by Chris Bork last time out, that in December of 2020. Who wants to give it one big go. And again, Fido can make it a very uncomfortable night for anybody, but Ramabeletsa on the front foot in the opening round.
Well, Ramabeletsa, you know, he's come out trying to get on the front foot, get the center of the ring, and try and command this fight. But that's easier said than done with someone like a Brett Fido, very experienced. But Ramabeletsa just started the better, smooth with his jab, getting the combinations off, the right uppercut, the left hook.
Well, good work on the inside from Ramabeletsa.
Yeah, landed a good long right hand from Ramabeletsa. And at 41 in excellent shape. Good defensive work there from Fido, just slipping out the corner.
Well, it was a big year for Brett Fido last year. Upset John Harker on his debut with a points win. then really shocked with the stoppage defeat of Tyrone McCulloch. We saw him in Aberdeen against Craig Morgan. Unlucky in that one as well. He's dropped that decision, but he's still an away fighter with a lot of ambition. And Michael Rama-Bellezza knows all about that.
Well, he just struggled to come to terms with Rama-Bellezza in that opening round. Rama-Bellezza getting off with a nice right hand there. And just got the better of it, you know, looking to get the center of the ring. You know, command from the middle behind the jab, and you know, for the most part, managing to do that in that round. And this is only a 4-rounder, so you really have to make every round count.
Well, Rama-Bellezza still believes he can do some damage. The man known as Troublemaker. He's moved through the divisions, happy to fight at feather. Would drop back at super bantam as well. He's going to go wherever he can get the opportunities, but well, Kevin Maree has left him in no doubt. He said he's got to look the part tonight, or that's it. He wants a rematch with Chris Borka, actually, who just lost his British title to Mark Leach. He's a real talent from down the road in Salford.
Well, he looks very focused for this fight, Rama-Bellezza, as if, you know, he knows what's on the line.
Fido moving well there, getting out of range.
Nice work inside for Fido there, just getting that free hand when he had the left hook. Was free, he was landing with it. Fido will know that, you know, in such a short fight, you know, he's 1 round down, you know, he can't really afford to lose this one. So you can see putting more effort into this.
Yeah, certainly opening up a little bit in the second round here live on Fightzone.
He gets through his body punches there, Fido, and he's trying to keep out of range, you know, and then get quickly into range where he can get off those short little shots. And there's a cut round the left eye of Rama-Bellezza. His blood dripping down his face. This has been a better round for Fido, who's just got off with better shots inside.
Well, the blood smeared now on the head of Fido, not his own. That cut just might be dripping into the eye a little bit. Wasn't a problem for Michael Rama-Bellezza. Can see Kevin Maree getting all the gear ready to work on that cut.
Well, Rama-Bellezza will feel the blood dripping down, and you know, a bit of panic will set in, not knowing how bad the damage is.
Well, we've been sprayed at ringside again. Part of the job, isn't it, Glenn? It's happened a few times.
Certainly is.
So they'll get to work on that cut now in that corner. Kevin Maree applying the adrenaline.
Better work from Fido inside. Had some success there. And for the rest of the time, he kept out of range. When he did get in range, you know, he made his punches tell. A bit of damage for Rama-Bellezza.
So you have it all square, Glenn.
I do, yeah. I thought Fido just got himself back in the fight in that second round. It was a better effort. He kept out of range, then quickly got nice and close where he could work. And just upset the style a little bit of Rambaleta, who'd been looking relatively comfortable in the opening round. Nice and relaxed and sharp. Well, he's very assertive, isn't he, Rambaleta? He knows the importance of this fight. You know, could be the end of a career. Kevin Maree saying maybe it's his time to go. One last chance.
Well, you could have had an easier return as well, couldn't you, than Brett Fido?
You could, yes. But I think, you know, it's kind of, you know, it's at 41 years of age, I think, you know, you want to sort of test him a little bit. You know, especially if he's, you know, if he's starting to fade and he was stopped badly last time out.
And both men happy to really let the hands go when there is that coming together.
Just trying to keep Fido pinned in the corner there. Feinting jabs.
And again, the flurries is looking for a good uppercut there, Brett Fido.
A little bit of wrestling. He's very eager, isn't he? Rambaleta. But that eye starting to worsen and quite a bit of blood coming from that.
Well, Fido going to work, and good work from him as well.
Yes, it was. Just left it a little late in the round, though, didn't he? Could have definitely have picked that up earlier.
So Rambaleta just edges ahead on Glenn McCrory's scorecard.
Unofficial scorecard at that, Dom. Yeah, he just sharpened up a little bit, Rambaleta, in that round, and I thought, you know, it was good last 10 seconds from Brett Fido, but that wasn't enough to win the round on my card. Just working on that cut.
So the fourth and final round here at the Oldham Leisure Centre. We still have plenty of action to come. Jermaine Springer against Ozzy Javier. Jack Fay and Louis Palmer go head-to-head. Callum Simpson in action against Michael Gadziet. And then the main event, the Central Area Super Featherweight title, contested between Lindsay Buczynski and Jade Taylor. The first time the females have competed for the title.
Well, it's good to see boundaries being broken on Fightzone. History being made.
I know you're a big fan of a lot of the women fighters around these days, Glenn, but a real opportunity for these two a bit later on as well to get right in the mix. And I suppose the positives of the pools not being so deep as yet in some of the divisions is those title shots can come around very quickly.
Well, that'll also be good news for the promoters to get more title bouts on bills, and it will, you know, it just raises the profile of the whole sport. Very popular, the ladies boxing, and some good names, some good stars coming through.
Oh, Rama Valeta just claiming centre of the ring. Good movement though from Brett Frido in this ring, in this round.
We're both landing with decent punches. He's been on the back foot, Brett Frido, but he's still been scoring with shots.
Well, Rama Valeta has the home crowd behind him, based up the road in Preston. Brett Frido from Worcestershire. Who's having the better of these exchanges? It's scruffy at times, Glenn.
It's a bit scruffy. At long range, it's Rama Valeta. In close, you know, some of the work, well, you know, it's difficult to see, but there's some good work from Brett Frido in close.
Oh, and a big right hand from Frido lands right on the button, and Rama Valeta, I think, was a bit shaken by that.
Yep, he certainly was, and I think that Frido needs to land that 20 seconds to make an impression. He's landed again with the left hook.
Rama Valeta, well, he's edging forward still, but a bit shakily.
Yeah, you know, the reaction from a couple of shots there were not good. And, you know, time takes its toll. And just looked in that last round, a little bit shot worn, didn't he?
Well, a good four-rounder, though, good contest. Well contested between the two. So, the unofficial scorecard of Glenn McCrory. What is it, Glenn?
Joe, it's a very difficult one because it was pretty even that last round. I think, you know, maybe just edging it for Rama Valeta, but very, very little in it. Brett Frido had some good moments in that, especially in the last round, where he did shake Rama Valeta a couple of times. And, you know, Rama Valeta, it's a little four-round. He's coming out there. He got rocked a little bit at the end, and he's got a cut eye, and that doesn't bode well for him.
Well, Kevin Maree's still working on that cut. As the men embrace, our scoring referee, Darren Sarginson, gets both men to the centre of the ring. He's handed his card over to our MC. So let's get the verdict with Stephen Reed.
Ladies and gentlemen, after 4 rounds of action, your referee, Darren Sarginson, scores the contest 39 points to 38 points for your winner. From the blue corner, Brett Frido.
Well, Glenn, you said it was 39-38, but the referee, Darren Sarginson, has spun it around the other way, so it is a big win for Brett Frido and bitter disappointment for Michael Rama Valeta. So you thought it was close, you got the score right, just the wrong man.
Yeah, certainly did. I mean, a 4-round fight. It was, you know, it was close. It's really how you see some of them rounds. Some of them were messy. I think, you know, Frido had some good work inside, and the referee obviously awarded him for that. And I think, you know, in a way, Rama Valeta, for me, you know, he did his very best in there, but I think he's coming towards the end of a career, and I think, you know, someone that might be not pleased, but, you know, showing his concern, his manager, Kevin Maree, you know, might just think this is time to, you know, that's the final thing to make him call it a day.
Well, such a lovely fella, Michael Rama Valeta, bitterly disappointed. He's going over now to get the consolation from his friends and family. But he's congratulating Brett Fido, and we know what he's all about, Brett. So he's back to winning ways as well. Upset the apple cart last year with a couple of excellent wins, particularly against Tyrone McCulloch, and he's done it again. And I think both men are now waiting ringside with Steve Lillis.
Brett, congratulations on the win. What was it like to get a close one go your way for once?
Well, it makes a change. I'm always on the wrong end of them. But I box well. He boxed well as well, to be honest. I wasn't shocked. I knew it was a close fight. But, you know, sometimes luck goes the opposite way, so I come out victorious.
Michael, your opinion on the fight?
You know, I want to say there's nothing negative about it.
No,
he boxed well.
Good fighter.
But as far as I thought, the first I tried to take the first two rounds, which is I know here how he's clever he is before he warm up. So that's what I was like. The last two, which is the last one, I still think maybe I won the last one too. So, but you know, it's boxing. Me and him will always get that. But what can I say? It is what it is, and we'll go in the drawing board. We keep working, and that's it. Nothing will stop me to do what I do. As long as if I got battered, I would say fair enough. You know, I've got. But I haven't. That was the head bite, and we both, you know, we are fighters.
So clash there.
It is what it is, and I'll come back, and I know there's a lot of calls that will come. You know, we're gonna get the calls, and listen, I'll prove it. I'm still around. He's still around. You know, I can't say anything about it. You know, it is what it is, and I just have to accept and take it to the chin and go back to the drawing board.
Listen, we've both boxed as the away boxers, so we know what close decisions can do. You know what I mean? But like I said, nothing negative about him. Good boxer, good fight. Obviously, you know, I just won by a round.
The phone's still going to ring for you, Michael. Will it stop for a few weeks now?
Possibly. Who knows? You know, I hope not, but it's one of those, isn't it?
Congratulations to you, and hard lines tonight, Michael.
No problem. Thank you. I really appreciate it.
And back to you, Dom and Glenn.
Well, good to see Michael Ramavalets still smiling, and fair play to Brett Fido as well. He gets his night, and as he says, he's had plenty go against him, hasn't he, Glenn?
Yeah, he has, and you know, he's always in there. He's always giving it a good go and a good fight. Spencer McCracken just going past me, giving me a jab on the shoulder and a smile.
Well, it's a big night for Spencer as well, isn't it? Obviously,
it is. It is good to see when fighters like Brett Fido come out on top, because you know, so often, you know, they're in very, very close fights, and you know, they're the way fight and they don't get the nod. So you know, it's good to see that you know, the referee made a good decision.
Well, Michael Ramavalets, please. Well, he cracks on. He's going to go back and train and look for the opportunities again. So good luck to Michael, good luck to Brett Fido, and on we go with the action here at the Oldham Leisure Centre. Here's Stephen Reid.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome your next boxer to the ring from London, Ozzy Jervia. And now, ladies and gentlemen, please welcome to the ring from Bradford, Jermaine Showtime Springer.
So, if I just keep your teeth, I'll make you see.
Ladies and gentlemen, this bout is 4 3-minute rounds in the cruiserweight division. Brought to you courtesy of Frank Duffin Promotions in association with Maree Boxing and streamed live and exclusive on Fightzone TV. Your referee for this contest is Mark Lyson and your timekeeper Peter Humphrey. Introducing first, boxing out of your blue corner, he wears the black and white shorts, official weight 14 stone, 1 pound, 7 ounces. From his 27 professional contests, boxing out of the away corner, he brings 6 victories. 5 of those wins come in by way of knockout. He's a former 2 times Southern Area Cruiserweight Challenger from Willesden, London, Ozzy Gervia. And opposing him across the ring, boxing out of your red corner, he wears the black, gold and white stripes. Official weight 14 stone, 3 pounds and 3 ounces. He's a former national amateur champion. As a professional boxer, he brings 7 victories, 3 defeats, 1 win coming by way of knockout. From Bradford, Jermaine Showtime Springer. 4 3-minute rounds.
Well, a really intriguing contest this. Jermaine Springer from Bradford. 7 wins, 3 defeats. Stepping up to cruiserweight for the first time. In against Ozzy Gervia, the 40-year-old from Willesden in London, who's stepped in for Perry Howe, who was due to box tonight, but injured a rib, so he was forced out of the contest. So Springer wearing the black shorts with the white panels in against Gervia wearing grey and black. And interesting to see how the step up to cruiser will suit Springer, who last time out was stopped by Shakan Pitters in the 5th round. No disgrace in that, obviously. Pitters, an excellent fighter, but will the bigger weight suit him? Got plenty of support here at the Oldham Leisure Centre tonight, in against the durable Ozzy Gervia. 6 wins, 5 inside the distance, 21 defeats as well. Been stopped 5 times in his career.
Well,
Glenn, you always like to look at the cruisers, don't you?
I certainly do. Springer's started well, looks strong at the weight, getting his shots off very well. He's landed some good body punches, good left hook to the head went in, and looks fit and lively.
Thanks for that big body shot there, Springer.
Yeah, nice shot, painful shot, that one. He's landing it well, and I think he needs to keep looking for that. Finding the direction around that elbow. You've always got to be a little careful throwing that shot, because if you hit the elbow, it could be very, very painful. Solid punches to the head, and there was a long right hand to the body, landing for Springer.
Good straight shots again from Springer.
Yeah, and it's good pressure. Gervia is having to hang on at times when these shots go in.
So a solid round for Jermaine Springer.
Yeah, looking for the left hook to the body. You know, he's got the right tactics in there. wants to try and bring them hands down a bit. Gervier got the hands right in front of him, giving them up nice and high. So you've got to try and find a way round that, bring the hands down, open up the defense. And obviously it's tough for Gervier, taking it late notice.
Yeah, he was out last week against Lee Johnson, dropped a 4-round decision. Week before that as well against Ross McGuigan, so he's getting a bit of work in 2022, Aussie Gervier. And we watched Perry Howe, who's the initial opponent, obviously go in against Dex Spellman recently, and held his own, really. Did okay against Dex Spellman that night in Newark, didn't he, Glenn?
He did, yep. Well, see if Gervier can do all right in this one. He was under a bit of pressure in the first round. Another left hook landing and the right hand.
Well, there's some weight behind these shots as well, isn't there? They are troubling Gervier when they do land.
Well, maybe he feels stronger and more comfortable up at cruiserweight. Important for Springer to keep using that jab. You need a solid jab, double it up.
The high guard of Gervier is blocking a lot of the shots, but some are getting through, no doubt about that.
Well, he's landing with some decent shots, Springer. Good right hand there going in.
Well, there's a real thud when that one landed. Put a lot behind that one. And it is all one-way traffic.
Yep, solid jab. Well, that's where you sense Springer could just pick it up a little bit. Got to keep using that jab, use the jab, then whip in the body shots and the hooks to the head. But you're not going to get the hooks on or the body shots on if you haven't got your range right with the jab. Better from Springer.
And he's got his man where he wants him. Gervier now gets off the ropes and out of the corner. It's just getting a little bit scrappy in there.
Well, I think that Gervier is doing that on purpose. If it's scrappy, he's not getting caught with shots. And there was some decent work in stages for Jermaine Springer. Trying with the left hook. Just needs to take his time a little bit, get into range, slow it down, get your jab working. You know, once you got the jab working, you're taking your opponent's mind off the other shots, and then once your jab's working, you can then just a little step to the left and whip in that left hook to the body.
Well, I'm not quite sure about the body language in the Gervier corner. I'm not sure how much he fancies this now. I think he's got a bit of damage to the rib area. Seems to be complaining to his corner. So will we see an early night? Potentially, if any of those shots do find the target to the body again from Springer, he might well get the stoppage that he wants.
No,
and in fact, we've seen it. Yep. In fact, look, Ozzy Gervier now. He's just gone to the referee. Can't fight on. Has got damage to the rib area. And Steve Lillis, alongside us ringside, he spotted that a bit earlier as well. But obviously, it got progressively worse. And Jermaine Springer gets the stoppage. Ozzy Gervier in no fit state to continue. So those heavy body shots did the damage, Glenn.
They did, yep. They got through. You know, he looked like he had power. You know, he was teeing off with that shot. You know, a few of them got through, obviously. Enough to do the damage.
Well, Gervier has just been checked out by the doctor. I've heard him clearly say it's the rib. And it's a horrible injury, isn't it? If you've got a cracked rib.
Yep. The body punches are very, very painful. And if you do crack a rib, you know, anything else on that rib is really extreme pain.
Well,
so he gets the win inside schedule. Unable to continue. Ozzy Gervier. And all smiles for Jermaine Springer.
well, let's get the official verdict with our MC, Stephen Reed.
Ladies and gentlemen, your referee Mark Lyson has stopped the contest at 20 seconds into the third round. Ozzy Gervier sustained an injury and was in no condition to continue. Therefore, your winner, Jermaine Springer. And your appreciation, please, for Ozzy Gervier.
So good win for Jermaine Springer. And he is full of beans. I tell you what, it's going to take a while for Ozzy Gervier to get out of the ring, I think, Glenn. He's in serious discomfort.
Yep, certainly is. And it is, you know, very painful to try and bend over. You know, it's if that rib is gone like it looks, it is.
Well, he's got to try and clamber through the ropes there. Oh, he's in terrible pain, Ozzy Gervier. A real shame for him. A busy fighter. He's going to have a spell out now.
Well, he's obviously punching fairly hard, Jermaine Springer, up at cruiserweight, because he's in terrible distress. Ozzy Gervier can barely walk. And really struggling just at the side of us.
Well, that's a horrible sight, isn't it? He won't sleep well tonight, that's for sure.
No, no.
But he's getting good applause as well by everybody here.
Jermaine, thanks for joining us. It looks like the move up to cruisers worked nicely.
Yeah, I think it has, man. I felt a lot more powerful at cruiserweight. I felt strong. I felt awesome, to be honest.
The body shots did the damage, did they?
Yeah, the body shot did the damage in the end. It complained of broken ribs. I caught him a few times early on, especially in the first round, to the body, and into the second as well. Obviously, he'd broken a rib, so he had to stop.
And it must be something about you boxing in Oldham, because you boxed here twice now, and both knockouts in your career have come here.
I want to box here all the time. This is my new home ground, man. I love it here. Every time I come here, I get a good stoppage. So, yeah, I love it.
When you was at light heavyweight, you wasn't scared of boxing anyone at all. We saw that against Shaq and Peters, Thomas Whittaker Hart. when the phone rings in the cruiserweight division, are you going to jump in again, or are you going to gradually work your way into this division?
That's a good question. Obviously, I would like to grow into the cruiserweight division, but if the opportunity comes along, I'm willing to take it, just like before.
Thanks very much, and we'll look forward to continue to watch your progress on Fight Zone.
Thank you, Steve. Much appreciated.
Back to you, Dom.
Good man, thank you, Steve, and good to hear from Jermaine Springer there, who's shown he's got plenty of power in those cruiserweight fists. And of course, still to come here on Fight Zone, we've got Jack Fay in against Louis Palmer, Callum Simpson in against Michael Gazdic, and then the main event, the Central Area title for the first time, competed for by Lindsay Buzinski and Jade Taylor. Well, let's cross to our MC, Stephen Reed.
Ladies and gentlemen, I have in the ring with me at the moment Ricky Gorman, heavyweight boxer who was due to be making his professional debut this evening, but due to unforeseen circumstances, that's had to be delayed. Ricky will be back in the ring for his debut very, very shortly. I also have in the ring with me at the moment Aki Kareem and Chris Maylett from BBTV, British Boxers Television. And the reason these gentlemen are in the ring with me today is that, very sadly, boxing lost a true friend and colleague this week in the sudden passing of Tommy Dix. Tommy was a former boxer, trainer, manager, and long-time boxing historian. He lived and breathed boxing, and his enthusiasm and passion for the sport was infectious. He spent many hours in the boxing gym imparting his knowledge and experience to young boxers of the next generation of British boxing, Ricky being one of those boxers. And all of these three gentlemen here were very close friends with Tommy. Tommy never missed a boxing show. He was an ever-present ringside here at Oldham and other venues in the Northwest. And this evening, we've left a ringside seat empty for Tommy because we know that he's with us this evening as we honour him with the boxing family 10-bell salute. Remembering Tommy Dix. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. Straight on with our boxing now, ladies and gentlemen. Please welcome your next boxer to the ring from Sheffield, Lewis Black Steel Palmer. And now, ladies and gentlemen, please welcome to the ring from Blackburn, Jack Fay. Ladies and gentlemen, this bout is 4 3-minute rounds in the cruiserweight division. Brought to you courtesy of Frank Duffing Promotions in association with Maree Boxing and streamed live and exclusive on Fightzone TV. Your referee for this contest is Darren Sargentson and your timekeeper, Amjad Ditter. Introducing to you first, boxing out of your blue corner, he wears the white and black shorts. Official weight, 13 stone, 4 pounds and 8 ounces. From 2 contests to date, he has 1 draw and 1 defeat. From Sheffield, it's Lewis Black Steel Palmer. And opposing him across the ring, boxing out of your red corner, he wears the black and gold shorts. Official weight, 13 stone, 10 pounds and 3 ounces. He had a distinguished amateur career, 4 times regional champion, 2 times national champion, undefeated as a professional with 1 victory from his 1 contest to date. From Blackburn, Jack Fay. 4 3-minute rounds.
Interesting contest here. Jack Fay from Darwin in against Yorkshire's Lewis Palmer. Jack Fay, that tonight just his 2nd professional bout. We watched his debut on Fightzone back in May when he won a points decision against Anthony Woolery. Wears the black and gold trunks tonight in against Palmer, who has had 2 professional contests, both against Maree Wright, the man from Leeds, a real touted prospect. Well, the first one was a draw. He arguably could have got that decision. The second fight just a couple of weeks ago against Maree Wright, well, he was on the wrong end of the decision, but again, another close fight. So this one could rightly be billed as a real 50-50. Both very talented fighters, both very good amateurs, and both keen to establish themselves in the professional ranks. Lewis Palmer wearing the white shorts with black trim.
Well, they both started in a bit of a hurry here. I think they both know this is going to be very competitive, and you know, you're going to have to really go for it to get the win. Well, lots of movement from Lewis Palmer. Nice jab there as well. He started quite relaxed, flicking out the jab.
Well, it is just bubbling up nicely in this opening round. Both men having successes.
They are, and it was Fay on the attack for quite a while in the round, but now it's Palmer who's taking the fight to him.
Good hook there from Palmer.
Yeah, he's landed with some right hands as well. And it's a good mixture here of movement and attacking from Lewis Palmer.
Well, Fay now really going to work. Palmer comes back again. Really good action here on Fightzone.
Yeah, and he looks a little stiff with that chin up in the air a bit. Fay being caught. And it's good work right from Lewis Palmer, who's really made the talented amateur, Jack Fay, work. And a lot to think about now, Fay, when he goes back at the end of this round.
Well, they're both working very hard, and Fay landed with a hook there, but back comes Palmer at the end of the round. Really good action in that opening round. Pick the bones out of that, Glenn.
Well, you know, they did some good things, both of them. We started off the round, Jack Fay, in good shape, you know, looking to keep his composure, use his jab. But he was drawn into the fight a little bit there with the tactics of Lewis Palmer, who, you know, danced around a bit, used some good movement, then had some good attacking scoring parts of that round. And Jack Fay started to get a little bit untidy as the round went on and allowed Palmer to do the better work.
Well, I think it's fair to say there wasn't much of a feeling out process.
No, well, can't really. You know, you got the 4-round distance. You know, they know you lose a round, and all of a sudden, you know, this fight is tough. So everything matters.
I thought we were watching Prize Fighter for a minute.
Well, you know, these are both good fighters, good amateurs. You know, he isn't getting off to a great start, Lewis Palmer, but been a bit unlucky. A loss and a draw to Maree Wright. And, you know, it was said that that was disputable, the loss. Well, it's Fay on the front foot, looking to unload.
Well, again, Palmer just using the ring.
Well, you hear the corner calling out, change the angle. Takes a right hand there, though, from Jack Fay.
And he's really urged on now. Fay lets his hands go, but back comes Palmer.
Well, he's trying to load up Jack Fay, but it's Palmer who just keeps those punches going in. They're not the biggest punches, but they're getting through.
Uppercut. Fay got a good uppercut through there. Palmer comes back with his own.
Well, this has warmed the crowd up a little bit, hasn't it?
Well, it's a great match, isn't it? Both at the very novice stage of their professional careers. Jack Fay, 26 years of age. Lewis Palmer, a couple of years older, at 28.
Well, it's often good, you know, to give young fighters when they're starting their career a test. So they can always come again, but it just, you know, puts them in the deep end very early. And both of them having success in this round on. It's going one way, then the other. Fay looking to land the more solid shots, but Palmer a little busier.
Well, Fay on the front foot again. Palmer switches things and gets him in the corner. Excellent fair. It's really going from, well, I suppose if you're using football parlance, from one end to another. It's absolutely brilliant work from both men, really.
Well, what a fight these two guys are putting on. Shows how much they want this. Neither one is relenting.
Well, as Fay put an awful lot into this round, I wonder if he's feeling the effects. He's still going for it. Palmer still happy to slug it out with him as well. Just moves well, though, Palmer.
Well, Palmer did some really good work in that round, but I think Fay probably got the best of it. You know, he seemed to just be, you know, more dominant at times when he really sort of rocked the head around of Lewis Palmer. You know, and he was getting his rhythm going there. It just shows how much, you know, keeping that undefeated record means to Jack Fay. You know, really had to dig down, bite down on that gum shield and throw in lots of punches. And, you know, for me, this fight is really in the balance. Both these men want this win desperately, and I think we're in for some more good work.
Well, it has been fascinating stuff, and as you scored it a round apiece, I don't think anyone would argue with that. I think the aggression of Jack Fay took that round for him. Just was that little bit more on the front foot. You mentioned how much Jack Fay wants to keep the unbeaten record, but of course for Palmer, he's desperate for a win. He's had 2 fights, close fights with Maree Wright, who's a real prospect. 1 draw, 1 tight loss. Again, it's equally, the pressure's equally on him. He needs that win, doesn't he?
And you can tell how much it means to them. You can tell how much it means to both of them, and they're really going to have to fight for this. This is a real test for both men. And it's who's got the biggest heart, who's got the more grit is going to come through this. The fitness is going to be called into question when it's such a physical, tough fight like this.
Yep, it's only a 4-rounder, but it's a grueler, isn't it?
Well, it really is. You know, I think it means so much to them, you know, and that's why neither one's like taking a step back and looking to box their way in. You know, they're just trying to really impose their will on each other.
Big left hook from Faye. Now sinks the body shots in.
Yeah, he's getting the more, he's landing with the more eye-catching punches, Faye, hasn't he? You know, they've really sort of landed hard, but Palmer, you know, is still working away. Good uppercut from Palmer inside. He's trying to get his shots off.
Oh, and another good uppercut from Palmer, and again. Faye turns him around and comes back with his own. Well, can't take your eyes off this one. Now the referee, Darren Sargison, just having a word with Palmer and Faye.
Solid right hand landing from Faye. Again, this round contested really hard by both men. Both have had successes. Both have been on the front foot. Both have been on the back foot.
Well, Palmer just on top towards the end of the round, but Faye comes back again.
Well, it's a great finish from Lewis Palmer, who really answered any questions there, didn't he, about his heart. You know, good work from Palmer. And Jack Faye had some success in that as well early in the round, but I think Palmer, you know, just his will would not be stopped. He just kept going forward. He wants this win desperately. And, you know, at the end of the round, he had Jack Faye in a little bit of trouble.
Well, plenty of experience in both men's corners. Good to see Junior Witter, part of Team Palmer, of course, world champion back in the day.
Yeah, great
switch
guy.
hitter.
Junior Witter, great talent. And now learning fighters.
WBC, wasn't it? I think the as light welter it would have been back then, not super lightweight, and then it was DeMarcus Corley, I think, he won the title. That fight with Ricky Hatton never happened.
No. Shame.
Well, the fourth and final round, it's been an absolute belter between Jack Faye, the Darwin man, against Sheffield's Lewis Palmer. So the way you've got it, it's all to play for, Glenn. You've got Palmer just ahead, but it's nothing in it.
Just edging it, but, you know, I think a big round could really clinch it here for either man.
Well, Palmer now trying to really put it on Faye, who's fighting back on the ropes. And Palmer really sinking him in now. Faye's got to get himself out of there, which he does do.
Yeah, good start to the round from Lewis Palmer. What has Jack Faye got to answer him with?
Well, Jack Fay really let those hands go in the second round. Did that take a lot out of him? There's 90 seconds remaining, and Fay goes to work again. This has really been fantastic.
Fay looks more tired, if I'm honest, Dom. Big gasp of breath as he took a couple of steps backwards there. Nice uppercut going in from Fay, who picks it up. Palmer works to the body. What a ferocious fight. The fans are really getting a treat with this one.
Well, there was a 10-bell salute to the recently passed away Tommy Dix, who was at all these fight nights, and well, these two lads are doing him proud, his memory proud, because this is an absolute small hole cracker. And Fay now goes to work. He's being urged on by his supporters here. I think both men desperately tired now.
Really are. What has Lewis Palmer got left in his tank, or is it empty? Could he have a big finish to this round and maybe clinch the round and the fight? 30 seconds left and counting, and it's
well, it
Palmer
could be as tight as whoever has the final say in this round. Well, he's battling well out of the corner, Jack Fay. As Palmer is trying to have the final say. Now Fay lets his hands go. Both men are just going to leave it absolutely all in the ring. An incredible 4-round contest, and still, as it started, it finished. Both men slinging. What a cracking contest. And there's a smile on the face of the referee, Darren Sargis, and he applauds both men as well. Well, that's a minor classic, isn't it, fellas?
It certainly was, absolutely. In my day, they'd call this a Nobbins fight. And then there'd be money getting thrown in the ring because, you know, a real crowd pleaser. They give their all. They knew they had to give their all, and they certainly did. And hats off to both fighters in a very, very close fought fight. It's hard to stick your neck out, Dom, but I know you're going to.
That's your job, Glenn. That's your job.
And you got to say that
yeah,
as well.
That's your job. But have you just got Palmer just nicking it?
Just ahead, yeah, just nicking it. Just nicking it. You know, I wouldn't be surprised if it was a draw or it went the other way, but...
Well, we'd see it again, wouldn't we? We'd see it again happily, but...
I've got Palmer just ahead.
Well, the referee is the man who counts. He's the scoring referee. He's handed the details to our MC, so let's find out now who is going to have the arm race, or is it a draw? Here's Stephen Reid.
Ladies and gentlemen, before we get your referee Darren Sargent's decision, let's please once again show your appreciation for both these boxers. After 4 rounds of action, your referee Darren Sargentson scores the contest 38 points to 38 points. This fight is a draw.
Well, you know, I think that's as fair as it could be. You know, you were nitpicking over, you know, who was throwing the stronger shot to who was throwing a few more shots. That was a very close fight. Nobody was a standout winner, and I think that the result echoes that. And, you know, we'd see that again. You know, and maybe I think that fight should be a little bit later down the line. Let them get a bit more experience, and you know, hopefully their paths will collide again.
Maybe a 6-rounder rather than 4.
Yeah, well, it'd be great. It'd be great to see it. You know, when there was something at stake. You know, I mean, they need to build their careers. They're both talented young men, so to build their careers, you know, they both had good work. They've got to polish their boxing off a lot more. But I think, you know, imagine with the passion that both these men have, a little bit down the line when they've got more skills, what it'll be.
Well, let's find out what these two gents make of that. They've just done 4 fantastic rounds together. Here's Steve Lillis.
First of all, congratulations everyone at Fightzone, fellas, because you served up one of the best 4-rounders anywhere seen in Britain this year, so congratulations everyone. I've got to ask you both the same question. What do you feel about the result?
Fuck yeah, I'm happy with that, mate. He's a tough kid.
It was a good war, man.
Yeah, man.
It was even.
Could have gone either way.
We fought each other with some good shots. You know, we run it again. Someone called Eddie.
100%, man. This guy, nothing but respect for him. Fucking class act, man. Good fight.
No giving up, man. That's what worries are about, man.
Jack, what's it like being in a fight like that, a good hard fight?
Right, I've not been in ring for about 10 months, man, with injuries, but felt a bit of ring rust there, man. A fucking tough fight, that's what I can say.
Yo, that's what fighting's about, man. We test each other, we push each other. You know, you lose one fight, you draw one fight, you win a fight, you keep learning.
It's good to get that respect as well from the fight.
You know what I mean? You know, we're all in here risking our lives, man, so you got to give each other props.
So get you on Instagram.
Yeah, man, 100%. Love.
And before we let you go, Lewis, Jack needs to get back. Are we going to see it again?
Yeah, man, I'm here to fight, bro. Yeah, whoever wants it, I've got it. I want all the smoke. All these prospects problems, just like he said. You get me? I had no amateur experience. I'm here straight into the pros. I'm willing. You know, I want to fight. Anytime, anywhere. I had a fight 2 weeks ago. I'm still ready to go next week. Let's go.
You were already king of the road, didn't you?
Bro, I'm ready, man. I'm taking off the junior, man. King of the road. Journeyman causing problems. Just remember that.
Thanks very much indeed.
Thank you, man. Thank you. Take it easy.
And next guest, we'll bring in Dennis Hobson, head of Fight Academy, who's providing some brilliant shows on Fightzone. Dennis, a bit of a busman's holiday you rocking up at Kevin Maree's show tonight.
I feel privileged to be here, and it just shows you, your armchair viewer just looking at that fight we just interviewed. The armchair viewer won't get to see that if it wasn't for Fightzone, so that epitomises what we're all about. So it's great for me to get around to one or two of these other shows. Great promotion, what Frank's put together tonight, and obviously we're doing some co-promotion and promoting with one or two of the kids, but there's some great talent what are bred from these kind of shows. You've seen them, Steve. There's nobody more experienced in this game than you, but it's a pleasure to be here, and obviously it's where maybe where I can look at one or two kids like you can, and we can discuss this probably after the show, who we think can go to that next level, and I need to do this a bit more often. I've just had to come back from Tenerife to get to this show. And that's why I've got my scarf on tonight. Last night I got my flip-flops and a Fightzone t-shirt. But this is in my blood, Steve, and we've done it a few times, get kids to the world stage, and there's one or two kids even here tonight who I think can go and win something major.
Asked you about next month. You've got a massive show in Scotland at that wonderful Hydro Arena. Alejandra Ayala challenges Hannah Rankin for a WBA and IBO super welterweight titles. How excited are you for that show, and how are the tickets going for it?
Oh, the tickets are flying because she's the First Lady of Scotland, and she's made history. She's a pleasure to work with, and the story is phenomenal. You know the story, Steve. She was supposed to be a farmer, and now she's a musician turned boxer. And she's a world champion, double world champion. She's an inspiration. And Scotland needs to obviously get behind her, and they are doing, because the tickets they're showing that in the ticket sales. So it's a big arena to fill, but we've got an array of talent on the undercard, and there's some cracking fights put together on the undercard. But Anna's flying the flag for Scotland, and instead of having to come down to England, to London, to defend a title that she's worked so hard to achieve, let's build a fortress up in Scotland, and what an arena. I've been with you I've put major events on with Ricky and Clinton and great fighters like that, I'm on the big stage, and I love a big stage. That's what's in his blood, that's what we live for. I've played football all my life. There's nothing like a big fight night, and I'm looking forward to one on May the 13th.
And another one a couple of weeks before that, one of Kevin Maree's fighters who you promote, I think Kev manages, Jack Massey, IBO Cruiserweight world title.
Yeah, if you think about it, it came to us, we had a sit down with Kevin, and Jack were getting a bit disillusioned with the game. His career was floundering a little bit. Guess what? The first fight was for an IBF European. He gets rated number 6 in the IBF, and managed to, through doing a bit of manoeuvring, get him an IBO world title, and he took it with both hands, and now he's a player. People's talking about him, he's relevant, people's calling his name out. Whereas 6 months it was Jack who? Well, Jack can fight. I know he can fight. He's a class act in and out of the ring, and I think we're going to go on a great journey with him.
One final question before we let you go. Talk of boxing this week. Tommy Frank, Craig Derbyshire. When's the rematch, Dennis? Reveal all to Fightzone viewers.
You've almost got me on one leg there, Steve. Listen, controversy sells. George Groves, Carl Froch. If it weren't for Howard Foster, Carl Froch and George Grove wouldn't be half as rich. Now, people look at fights, people look at Agler Leonard and say, well, I thought Agler won. Well, I always thought Leonard won, but you're always going to get a split. A lot of people thought Craig were hard done to, but a kid who has 2 knockdowns and he's only got to win two more rounds and then he can't be beat. Well, if you look at that, for me, a draw were a fair result because Craig deservedly got the draw. He boxed out in his skin, and guess what? We need to do it again.
When?
When do you think we should do it again?
As soon as you can.
Look, we've got a show on June 4th in Sheffield. I think that's going to be a bit too soon. But if we can find something at the end of July, I'd love to do it then. And I don't mind where we did it. I mean, if we had to go into Craig's backyard, we'd do it because, you know, we're a TV channel and we're a Fight Academy's promoted for numerous amounts of years, and we don't mind going in somebody else's backyard if it makes sense. And I think Tommy wouldn't mind if we wanted to do it in Craig's hometown. I'd do that. Obviously, there's different options out there for Tommy because he's the British champion, and he's got quite a high rating. But you know, that's unfinished business, that, Steve, and we need to make it happen. So I have been looking at the calendar while I was on my terrace in Tenerife, seeing when we can put that together again. And there's going to be a lot of people want to see that, and there's going to be a lot of difference of opinion. And probably Craig supporters will think he's going to finish the job and wouldn't be a British champion, whereas Tommy's fans will think, look, it was a bad day at the office, let's normal play resume, and Tommy moves on to the World Series.
Thanks a lot, Dennis, for joining us tonight. And now back to a couple of fellas who also want to see that rematch, Don McGuinness and Glenn McCrory.
Certainly do, Steve, and good words from Den, because he's going to make it happen, and it was a cracking contest. We want to see more of that. And interesting as well, Steve and Dennis talking about Jack Massey, the IBO Cruiserweight champion. He's here in attendance tonight. Just giving him a little wave. He's just waving over to us now. Jack Massey, the champ, he's in action at the end of the month in Bolton, defending that belt. Also, Mark Heffron, very talented middleweight, boxed twice for the title. In amazing shape. Should have been boxing last night, but he'll be out very soon. But on with the action we go. Here's Stephen Reed.
Ladies and gentlemen, if you've bought a raffle ticket this evening, the winning raffle ticket is number 65. 65, the winning raffle number. If you have that number, please see the gentleman down at ringside who sold you your ticket. And just before we call out the next boxer, ladies and gentlemen, we have boxing royalty in the arena this evening. Oldham's favourite son, Mark Heffron, is down at ringside, ladies and gentlemen, and we're pleased to announce, after his spectacular victory in this ring last month, Mark challenges for the British title this summer. We also have world champion Jack Massey down at ringside, ladies and gentlemen. Jack is defending his world title in Bolton on the 30th of April, live on Fightzone. And now, ladies and gentlemen, to continue with your boxing, please welcome your next boxer to the ring from Slovakia, Mikhail Gazdik. And now, ladies and gentlemen, please welcome, making his ring walk from Barnsley, Callum Simpson.
Look to my eye in the face when I said, is there any point even taking it to trial? Big fat grins on me, same way, cause you know this life is gonna make smile. Back to place, get set up on a file, got blueprints stacked up, everything in a pile. This EP's been ready for a while, been laying it down like if you check YouTube, I was shilling to child too. Take us in my style and I knew that, yeah, I went to the crowd. Young man, sonical, terrible, wild, what I want on it.
Ladies and gentlemen, this bout is 6 3-minute rounds in the light heavyweight division. Brought to you courtesy of Frank Duffin Promotions in association with Maree Boxing and streamed live and exclusive on Fightzone TV. Your referee for this contest is Mr. Mark Lyson and your timekeeper, Peter Humphrey. Introducing first, boxing out of your blue corner, who has the black shorts, official weight, 12 stone, 6 pounds and 3 ounces. From 27 contests boxing in the away corner, he has 6 victories. 6 of those wins coming by way of knockout. From Slovakia, Mikhail Gazdik. And opposing across the ring, boxing out of your red corner, who has the red and gold shorts. Official weight 12 stone, 4 pounds and 7 ounces. As an amateur, he was a regional champion in 2 different weight divisions. He's been described as one of the hottest prospects in British boxing. Undefeated in his professional career, 6 victories from 6 contests, 4 of those wins coming by way of knockout. From Barnsley, Callum Simpson. 6 3-minute rounds.
So Callum Simpson, the 25-year-old from Barnsley, decked out in red. So much excitement about this young fella's progress in the professional game. Tonight he makes his 7th professional ring entrance, 6 fights, all victories for Simpson, 4 inside the distance. In against Michael Gazdik, who's known as a real durable road warrior, all in black. So if Simpson could stop him, he'd be just the 2nd man to do so in 28 bouts. He's been stopped just once before. And Simpson, well, he started fast, he started bright, working head and body very well. He's urging on Gazdik, and can he make that statement?
Well, what I'm already impressed with is his variation and how he puts his shots together and puts them in clusters, and that's what Gazdik is not going to like. You know, a journeyman who can catch some punches, catch on the gloves and out the way, but when he's under big pressure, like the way the flurries of punches come in from Simpson, that's a different matter.
Well, does have a classy look about him, Simpson. Oh, sinks the shot into the body. What a right to the body that was. Gazdik is not getting up from that. He is in awful distress. That was an absolute peach of a body shot. And Michael Gazdik is still struggling for air in front of us, Glenn. What a shot and what a statement.
Well, excellent shot. Really put the power into that. And Gazdik in all sorts of trouble, just on the apron right in front of us. Getting up to a seat now, but it was combinations of punches which were bedazzling Gazdik, and then whipped a very solid body punch in, and that was it. He fell down very hard indeed and was never gonna beat the count. So
well, ahead of this fight, Simpson said he wanted rounds. It was scheduled for 6 rounds tonight. Now the problem is he's banging everyone out. I mean, there was a curious situation in his last fight when the opponent, Michael Osunia, it wasn't him in the other corner, so they're still investigating what happened in that. He took care of business that night anyway, but he's done it again against Gazdik, the 38-year-old Slovakian. It's been a couple of years before he's been stopped. He's only been stopped once before. And again, a 1st round stoppage, excellent body shot from Simpson, and that was that. I mean, he had a classy look about him anyway.
Yeah, you know, when you see journeymen who are good and don't get stopped, and when you see somebody who goes through them like Simpson did, you know that he's a talent.
Well, let's get the official results with Stephen Reed.
Ladies and gentlemen, your referee Mark Lyson dispenses with the count at 1 minute 10 seconds of the very 1st round. Your winner by technical knockout, Callum Simpson. And your appreciation, please, for Mikhail Gazdik.
Well, Lewis Van Pooch boxed Callum Simpson late last year, and Simpson stopped Poochie. Now, we know what an achievement that is, to stop Poochie, and he said he rated Simpson in the top 3 of all those hundreds of thousands of boxers I think he's faced. Up there with Lerone Richards, who's a European and IBO world champion. Zach Parker, who's going to fight Andrade soon at Pride Park. That's the company he has put Simpson in with.
Well, you know, there's a lot of good judges have been saying a lot of good things about what they've seen from Callum Simpson in the gym. Your word is getting round, and I think after a performance like that, the word is very much out. You know, he's a real talent, a good puncher, exciting, fast hands, and you know, there's an awful lot to be excited about.
Well, he's made his way out of the ring, and he is now with our man, Steve Lillis.
Callum, congratulations at 7-0, 5 by KO, 3 of them in the first round. You make it look so easy.
Yeah, obviously I think this guy's only been stopped once in that past 4 years or something. Lost only been stopped once quite a few years ago, so I'm expecting to get a lot more rounds out. But I catch with that left body shot. As soon as I landed it, I thought I knew straight away it was a good shot, but obviously put him down, and everyone, when I'm sparring, everyone's dropping me that shot, and that's the shot that's hurting people, so I'm glad I were able to get it off, yeah, for a stoppage.
I mean, you said maybe you were expecting to go rounds, but you jumped on him as if you just wanted to get him out of the way.
Yeah. I just like to be busy. That's my style. I like to just be busy at that time. I'm fit. Like I'm in gym every day. So I just got back from in Dubai like 2 weeks ago, and I trained every day. I was out there twice a day, and I'm just fit. So why not keep busy? Why not? You know what I mean?
There's a lot of buzz about you now.
Yeah.
How excited are you? But it's not allegedly. There is. You know. How excited are you by this buzz? You know, is it easy to fall into that trap of believing it all?
Not really, because I've known for years my potential. So what everyone's only just seeing now, what everyone's talking about now, I've known for years. People that support me, they've known for years. So for me, it's come as no surprise. It's just going to keep on. The buzz is going to get bigger and bigger, and we're going to be going all the way. Yeah, that's it.
Before we let you go, where are you going to be in 10 years' time?
10 years' time, when I'm 25. I don't know. Multiple world champion, hopefully, multiple titles. Plenty of money, happy, and I say hopefully, I'd love to, in 10 years, I'd love to just look back and know that, because obviously I've been training since I was 10 years old, so I'd love to, in 10 years, look back and just know that all that sacrifice has not been for nothing, and know that all them like hard days, up early, home late, it's all been worth it, and I put everything into it, and I can look back and just be proud of myself, yeah.
Well, thanks very much. You entertained Fightzone viewers this evening.
Thank you very much. Appreciate it. Thank you, mate.
And back to you, Dom and Glenn.
Thank you very much indeed, Steve, and yeah. Good lad, Callum Simpson, speaks very well as well. Very marketable. Punch power. Tall, good-looking lad at the weight as well. It's all going on for him.
It certainly is. I mean, obviously, it's a long journey, but it's a great way to start. And when you're getting rid of, you know, journeymen like that, you know, that people normally don't get rid of, you know, you make people stand up. So, you know, he's going to be in competitive fights with undefeated fighters, and that's when we're going to get questions answered. But at the moment, you know, all he can do is everything that he's doing. Just, you know, beat the people that's been put in front of him. Keep learning, you know, keep getting experience, keep your feet on the ground, and, you know, just keep moving up the ladder.
Well, certainly one to watch. Kevin Maree was talking about him ahead of the fight, and he couldn't contain his excitement. He's so delighted to have signed him. And I think there was a lot of people after his signature as well, because he is such a talent. Was a great amateur as well. You know, it's so annoying when you do all your notes, Glenn. You do all your notes, and then they blast them out and around. You don't get to speak about them enough. You don't get to throw in all the gems that you've learned about the fighter. So all my notes for Callum Simpson, they're going to have to wait.
I'll
tell you what,
Dom, yeah?
if I do say so myself, but they'll wait for next time. They'll wait for next time. And I'll tell you what as well, we've had a fantastic room full of stars here. We were just talking about Junior Witter before, world champion, Mark Keffron, who's boxing for the British middleweight title in the summer. We've got Jack Massey, the IBO and European cruiserweight champion as well, who's going to box on Fightzone on the 30th of April. And guess what? Steve's tracked Jack down.
With me now, IBO World Cruiserweight Champion Jack Massey. Jack, with 3 weeks out before your fight, how's camp going with Rob Rimmer?
It's going absolutely brilliant, amazing. You know, getting some good sparring in now, and we're ready to go in 3 weeks' time.
I mean, what does it mean to you, this title that you've got? Because it's just projecting you to a new level, isn't it?
Yeah, it means the world. You know, it's a world title like that. It's put us in, you know, good stead for these big fights in the future. So, great.
Do you feel now that you're a world champion, you got that target on the back? There's a few people calling you out on social media, I've noticed. What do you say to that?
Yeah, definitely. You know, it's quite nice getting people calling me out now. You know, we were struggling for fights before this, but you know, some people, you know, being vocal on social media, you know, shouting us out, and it's quite nice. So, you know, you can make these big fights happen now. We've got this, you know, bargaining chip sort of under our wing, so it's good. It's a good thing.
When you look at the rest of the cruiserweight world champions, who is it you're looking at as the man you would like to face in a big fight?
I think Breedis or Coley, you know, the two top guys. You know, Breedis, he's coming to the back end of his career, but you know, hopefully, you know, get a fight with him. That'd be great. Coley as well, you know, possibly. So, yeah, they're the two main ones. So definitely, and obviously McCarvey as well.
A Coley would be a fantastic fight for Britain, wouldn't it?
Yeah, definitely. As we were supposed to fight back in 2016, I think it was, for the British title. So it'll be good to you know, get it back on again. Definitely.
I was talking to Jermaine Springer, everybody who you sparred with, who had a great win tonight, and he was talking about you earlier, and he was just saying that he sparred with you because he's moving up to it. It's like being in a heavyweight when he spars with you.
Yeah, definitely. We've shared some rounds together previous to this fight for him and in camp for me. So yeah, it's been some good spars. You know, we've helped each other out, worked with each other. So it's great. It's good.
Give us an example of your day at the moment with Robert Rimmer. You know, give me a day from morning to going to bed tonight. Your breakdown of it. What time do you get up and what time it all ends?
So we train at 10 o'clock. Get up around 8 o'clock-ish. You know, it's a nice little lie-in. So get up at 8, train at 10. We'll do, you know, 2.5 to 3 hours in the gym, and then we'll be back in later. So yeah, it's tough going at the minute. You know, it's all guns go, it's all guns blazing, and you know, it's tough graft, but it'll all be worth it after the 30th of April.
Does it help being in the gym where you're all close knit, you all get on? You know, do all the lads who are not boxing on the 30th of April drive you on and keep on your case to keep improving all the time?
Yeah, absolutely. You know, we all stay in the gym. You know, we don't go missing after our fights. We all stay in. Like Josh Holmes has had, you know, he's had an operation on both his hands, but you know, he's back in the gym. He's not quite punching yet, but you know, we all train together. We all push each other. We're a team at the end of the day, and we all push each other towards our fights and get each other going.
Give us a bit of insight into Robert Rimmer, because you know, he don't get a lot of attention, but those of us who know him, he knows his boxing so well, doesn't he?
Oh yeah, you know, he knows it very, very well. You know, he's grown up around it. You know, obviously Bobby Rimmer, his dad's been around it for years, but Robert was always there in the gym. You know, when back in the day when it was Billy Graham, he was always there watching, and you know, getting in and sparring and stuff like that. And he's boxed himself, Robert, and you know, he's been around it all his life from being a youngster, so he knows it like the back of his hand. And you know, he's a phenomenal trainer. He's absolutely amazing. Couldn't ask for better.
And is a lot of your success down to him?
Absolutely, yeah, 100%, and his dad, of course. So yeah, absolutely.
And finally, tell Fightzone viewers what sort of performance they're going to get from you on the 30th of April in Bolton.
Fireworks, big fireworks. I think you're going to see a different me now. You know, more confident. We know we've got the ball rolling now. Keep it rolling, and you're going to see a different me. You know, I've been out, got the world title, and now the ball's rolling. You're going to see a different Jack Massey, 100%.
Thanks very much, Jack. And now back to Dom and Glenn for a quick chat.
Thank you very much indeed, Stephen. That was a very nice chat with yourself and Jack. Jack, who's out in action on April 30th, as Steve said, in Bolton. We shall be there ringside. It's great following his progress at the moment, Glenn, and there could be, as he says, those massive fights with a Breedis or a Coley.
Certainly could. You know, all he's got to do is keep winning. You know, he's in his prime at the moment. You know, he's getting better. You know, day by day, training's going well. So it's really just, you know, make sure there's you cut no corners, you do everything right, because you know, these next few fights are vital. You know, this is what can shape a career. This is what can put you in the history books. So this is the most important time of his career. So you know, he's a very level-headed young man, and you know, a very good fighter. So you know, we're expecting big things from him on Fightzone.
What did you make of what Steve asked him about the kind of team spirit in the gym? Because Robert Rimmer is a coach that does like to have a busy gym, and they all do get on. It's very close-knit. He's I can see across the ring from us here, Billy Dennis, who we've seen on Fightzone, really exciting cruiserweight. And again, you had to train on your own, basically, without a coach. I mean, how much would you have liked this kind of almost football team mentality where you're all in it together, you all support everyone when they go and fight, you're in their corner?
It's fabulous, you know, and you know, it would have made a great difference to me, but, you know, because it is very much team spirit. And the one thing that I know, success breeds success. And, you know, if you see somebody in the gym who's winning things, you want to win things. And we've seen it, you know, with the Billy Grahams, you know, we've seen the different gyms, Sheffield, you know, Winterbank under Brendan, you know, that sort of team spirit just helps everybody in the camp. It lifts everybody, you know, they all raise their game, you know, not just for a fight, they raise their game every time they get in the gym. And, you know, that's a really good thing. So I think if he's got that, that's excellent.
Well, we're just a couple of minutes away from our main event. Now, this is in the super featherweight division, 10 two-minute rounds, the first ever Central Area belt, a title fight for the women. Lindsay Buczynski from Bolton, the 33-year-old, against Jade Taylor, 29-year-old from Salford. Two mothers, got busy home lives, both following their dreams in the professional boxing ring, both managed by Kevin Maree. He said he's very much sitting on the fence in this one, 50-50, not a clue how it's going to go. And he says whatever happens, the loser has the right to ask for a rematch. But a little piece of history on Fightzone tonight, Glenn.
Very much so. You know, with it being the first area title fight, we're going to see, it's great that's happening on Fightzone, but we're going to see this more and more and more as, well, more of the women get involved in the boxing, and it becomes, you know, grows in popularity. And, you know, it's good to see these girls, you know, in a competitive fight, both undefeated. So, you know, we know we're going to get action. We know, you know, the passion's going to be there. And this is going to be a good fight.
Well, Lindsay Buczynski was the first female Kevin Maree fighter, the first lady that he signed. And Jade Taylor, the first girl to go into Rob Rimmer's gym. That's why all her stablemates are here tonight to watch her in her efforts to become the first Central Area title holder. And of course, women's boxing very much high profile now. There's a small matter later in the month of Katie Taylor against Amanda Serrano that's taken it to new heights. There'll also be very shortly Clarissa Shields and Savannah Marshall going head-to-head. Glenn, Savannah from your neck of the woods?
Yep, very, very good fight, and that would be an excellent fight. But it's good to see, you know, we're now getting, you know, the ladies boxing is now headlining big shows in big arenas, and, you know, that puts it to the forefront in the sport, and, you know, that is a very good thing.
And of course, our very own Hannah Rankin. On May the 13th, we're in Scotland for Hannah's fight against Ayala. That's going to be an absolute mega night, of course, in Scotland. Hannah defending her WBA and IBO super welterweight world titles. But let's get on with the main event, because the women are ready. We are ready ringside. And also ready is our MC, Stephen Reed.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's now time for our title fight. Please welcome your first challenger, making her way to the red corner from Bolton, Lindsay Buczynski. And now, ladies and gentlemen, please welcome to the ring your second title challenger, making her way to the blue corner from Salford, Jade Blade Taylor.
Broken down and tired of living life on the merry-go-round. You can't find out fire, but I see it in you, so we can walk it out. Ooh, mountains, we can walk it out, and mountains.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, this is it. This is your main event of the evening. History in the making, the first ever female area title fight. 10 two-minute rounds for the vacant Central Area Super Featherweight title. Brought to you courtesy of Frank Duffing Promotions in association with Maree Boxing and streamed live and exclusive on Fightzone TV. Your referee for this contest is Darren Sargentson and your timekeeper Amjad Ditter. Introducing first, boxing out of your blue corner, she wears the black and gold shorts. Official weight, bang on the championship weight of 9 stone 4 pounds. She's a former elite kickboxer, where she won multiple titles, including English Thai boxing champion and 3 times British Thai boxing champion. As a professional boxer, she's undefeated. 4 contests, 4 wins. From Salford, Jade Blade Taylor. And opposing her across the ring, boxing out of your red corner, she wears the black and pink shorts. Official weight 9 stone, 3 pounds and 14 ounces. She had a distinguished amateur career where she won regional titles and Box Cup gold medal. She's undefeated as a professional boxer. 2 contests, 2 wins. From Bolton, Lindsay Buczynski. 10 two-minute rounds.
So the main event, live on Fight Zone from Oldham Leisure Centre. Lindsay Buczynski, the 33-year-old from Bolton who wears the black and pink, in against Salford's Jade Taylor, the 29-year-old, wearing black with gold trim. Both unbeaten fighters. Buczynski, 2 professional contests, 2 wins via way of points. Taylor with 4 fights and 4 wins, all via points as well. This one, a really intriguing one. These two, they've sparred, they know each other, but what an opportunity for them. The first ever female Central Area belt on the line. So history being made on Fight Zone, and it's Taylor who is just in the opening stages taking centre of the ring. Now Buczynski is trying to go on the front foot a little. And it could be a cagey opener, this one, 10 two-minute rounds. And what's interesting as well, Glenn, is that neither has ever done anything other than a 4-rounder before.
Well, that's going to be a major difference in, you know, who's prepared the better for this, you know, what sort of experience they've had, you know, in the gym, you know, the sparring that they've had. That's all going to come into play in this. But it's Taylor who's took the center of the ring, you know, is relaxed and making Buczynski have to circle around and takes a nice right hand. Well, Buzinski takes a left hand there, and it's a good start for Jade Taylor. She's getting her shots off the better.
Well, it was a little bit cagey, as you might imagine. A fight of such importance. Who shaded it for you, Glenn?
For me, it was Taylor. But it just landed with the more solid shots. Buzinski, just accuracy was a bit of a problem. You know, she was moving around. She wasn't really settling down and getting her shots off. But obviously, lots of nerves. This is a big step up for both these girls. You know, just at the novice stage in their careers, and then they're in a area title fight, and it's the first ever area title fight in women's boxing. So a little bit of history.
10 seconds,
and Jade Taylor just getting off to the more comfortable start.
Second round. Round 2.
Well, the second round. Buzinski lands a good right hand. Now Taylor lets the hands go. She's coming to life a little bit more in the second round.
Yep, they're starting to let the punches go. Buzinski starting to get in the range a little bit more.
And she's ploughing forward, Buzinski, as well. She's getting picked off a little.
Yeah, she's lifted up the gears a little bit, Buzinski. She's landed with a couple of long right hands.
Well, you wondered before this one whether or not Taylor would be the more powerful in there. Only normally boxing at lightweight and moving down to super feather.
She's just had a more settled start. Taylor getting her shots off better. Buzinski's tried to lift it in this round, but hasn't quite managed to connect yet. Just missing with a couple of left jabs there, just falling short. There was a nice right hand for Buzinski.
Well, there hasn't
just
been
picked it up a little bit more in that round, but she's still missing with too many punches.
no real dominance in either round, but you just favour the work of Taylor in both rounds.
I just think it's been a little bit more settled, a little calmer and clean at the work that she's managed to put through. But no, not a great deal. Obviously, nobody's took command in these rounds yet.
Well, the 2-minute rounds as well, I know we've spoken about it before, Glenn, makes a difference, doesn't it, in terms of you don't really have the time to build into the round. You've got to go for it. Arguments for and against it. You could say that they're more exciting because the women tend to go for it from the start. But would you rather see the 3-minute rounds where somebody could get on top and maybe force a stoppage?
I think for the top of lane, these sort of fights, when you're starting to get championship fights, I think they need to be at the longer distance. 3-minute rounds, you know, they give you more time to settle, to think about it. You know, if you have a bad spell in the round, it gives you time to come back. You know, everything's not a sprint. So, you know, there's arguments for and against. There's still, you know, both girls, there's still quite a few punches missing. You know, they're a little bit overly eager. Obviously, they'll settle down as these rounds go on and they go into unknown territory, which will not be long. Big jump, 4 rounds to 10 rounds. So a lot in this fight's going to be about preparation.
Well, just gets kind of scruffy for the first time at the end of the third. Was that a tricky round to score?
Yes, in a word, it was. Yeah, they were both out of range for a lot of that round. You know, a lot of missing punches. You know, you can see on the slow motion there. You know, skipping in and out of range, but you know, not landing with punches. And I think that was the problem throughout there. So, you know, a level round on my card, but Taylor still ahead. My unofficial card.
10-second corners.
Starting to get the hang of it after 35 or so rounds. 35 or so years.
Well, Brzezinski just tries to take center of the ring, but Taylor's just forcing her back now.
Decent body shot from Brzezinski. We'll see more punches landing as the girls start to get more tired. Once fatigue starts to come in, they'll start having to stand their ground, and then they'll start taking more punches.
Well, they're very animated in Jade Taylor's corner now as they feel she's getting on top, but Brzezinski is coming back. But as you say, a bit more leather being thrown now.
Yeah, and I think that's what we're going to see as these two tire. They're going to be forced to stand toe-to-toe more.
Big right hand from Taylor, and Brzezinski just holds on a little.
Yeah, a couple of good shots there from Taylor. Brzezinski still falling short with a jab. That's been a problem. Taylor has been more accurate.
So the most eye-catching work from Jade Taylor, big right hand that found the target.
Yeah, she's trying to get the jab on Brzezinski, but she walked onto a couple of good punches from Jade Taylor. And starting to just get a little lead. Taylor. Although Buzinski looks fairly happy with
She
herself
does
in the
indeed,
corner.
yeah. Humphrey Harrison, the trainer there. Yeah, she's enjoying the occasion, I think it's fair to say. It's such a big opportunity for both women.
Seconds out. Round 5.
So the 5th round of a scheduled 10. Oh, Buzinski just got caught on the way in there with the right hand again from Taylor.
Yeah, Buzinski landed a decent body shot before that, though. That was the right-handed land from Buzinski. She's having a bit of success. Yeah, scoring punches with a jab from Taylor. Lots of missing shots from Buzinski.
Well, the concentration levels are there for all to see, the faces of both women.
But still, you know, they need to step in with their punches. Good combination from Taylor there.
Well, a good round of action.
Yeah, Taylor, more eye-catching punches landing for her, and she's pulling ahead a bit on my card. Steve Lillis got this 3-2. I got 3-1 and 1 even. But not breathing heavy in the corner. Buzinski, which looks like she's got plenty left in the tank. As we go into the second half of this 10-rounder. Already both girls in unknown territory and not gone past 4.
Yes, second half of the fight. As you say, never done anything other than 4-round fights before, both women. And you made the point at the start of the fight, Glenn, this is where fitness will really start to tell, and it's the mental side of it, knowing that you're in unknown territory, how you deal with that.
Very much about mental strength in there. You know, totally unknown. But, you know, it's about preparation, it's about gym work, you know, and both corners, very experienced corner guys. So, you know, the training teams will have left nothing to chance, one would think. But, you know, if I'm honest, just looking at them, these girls are quite evenly matched, aren't they? You know, early in their career, both, you know, well taught. Good technique.
Well, both experienced as well. Lindsay Buczynski travelled all around Europe looking for fights as an amateur. Took whatever fight she could get. Jade Taylor, another example of somebody switching from Thai boxing to boxing. She was competing from a very young age as a Thai boxer before making the switch. And the last couple of rounds you've given Buczynski, so it's getting very, very interesting on your card, Glenn.
Well, these are very tight rounds. Nobody has took control of this fight yet. Nobody is the boss in there. I mean, it was Buczynski in the last couple of rounds who's looked to force the fight more, get on the front foot, take the center of the ring, try and get physical control. But you know, one of the problems with judging fights like this is getting the punches that are actually landing. Because it's okay, you see the girls throwing punches out, the jabbing, couple of jabs, you know, but you only score when they land.
Round 7.
Well, it's Buczynski still trying to fight on the front foot. But Taylor has had success, just picking her off at times, and there, another good example.
Well, getting a bit rough and ragged in there. Temper's starting to fray a little bit. Bit of frustration coming in. Both corners cheering on their fighters, making a lot of noise.
Well, there's a good atmosphere inside the Oldham Leisure Centre.
Good body shot to Buczynski. Two shots from Taylor. Good defensive work there from Taylor, just skipping out of range. Leaving Buczynski to punch into the air.
Well, towards the business end now, let's get the card of Steve Lillis. What's Steve scoring it as, and you, Glenn?
Yeah, I've got a slight lead for Jade Taylor.
Well, Steve Lillis has Taylor 5-2 up, but all the rounds close, he's saying.
Yeah, there's very little in it. You know, a lot of punches missing. You know, neither one has started to land with substance, have they? And you know, Buczynski's going back to the corner and she's punching the air. She seems confident enough that it's going her way.
10 seconds,
For me, Taylor, I give a slight advantage too.
Seconds out. Round 8.
It's that kind of fight, isn't it, that
similar styles.
If it's been scored, if one of the fighters is just slightly catching the eye, then it could be a landslide in their favor when it's been a very, very close fight. Well, will somebody just put their foot down and take a hold of this fight in the 8th round?
Well, I think whoever does in the later stages of this fight whoever really gets some sort of control will win this fight. Good right hand from Buzinski.
Well, she's centre of the ring at the moment, Buzinski. Taylor more on the back foot.
Well, anytime punches are thrown, they're shouted and applauded loudly, but you know, a lot of them are falling short. Well, some nice boxing on the back foot for Taylor, but you know, I think she's getting confidence on the front foot, Buzinski.
Well, a good flurry at the end of the 8th. So just 4 minutes remain of this Central Area Super Featherweight contest.
And very difficult to separate them. Both have had their successes throughout this. Neither one has, it's a good fight, you know, very competitive, but neither one's took over this fight. Neither one's got control of this fight. You know, it's going, during the rounds, going one way, then the other.
So you have it, 4 rounds for Taylor, 3 rounds for Buzinski, and an even round. So all to play for still. All to
play for. I'm still waiting for somebody to really take control of this fight.
Well, Steve Lillis has 5-3 in Taylor's favour.
Landing with the jab, Taylor there. Oh, nice boxing from Taylor.
Every time, lead on high again. Position yourself to the left. She'll throw the right up. Arms down the centre. Position yourself, Jay. Keep it high. Keep it high. Keep it high. Keep it high.
Buzinski lands with a right.
Good left hook from Buzinski.
And the body shot for Buzinski. And another right hand for Buzinski, who's probably controlling this round on the front foot. Right hand and left hook landing for Buzinski, who looks comfortable on the front foot. Well, concentration's been good in that round for Buzinski, and I think that's a Buzinski round.
So you've got it all on this last round?
No, I've got, well, yeah, I mean, it could go either way on this last round. I've got Buzinski 1 point up.
Now, Steve Lillis has it tight as well. He's got it 5 rounds to 4 in favour of Jade Taylor.
Well, I've got it 1 round ahead to Buzinski going in the last round, but this is,
well, it's close.
Yeah, it's very close, and you know, neither one's hurt each other, neither one's imposed themselves
both
in the fight.
Both the corners are supremely confident that their fighter is well ahead.
And that's because, you know, they both thrown punches out, but you know, looking at the punches that are landing, you know, there's not a mark on either girl. They're not getting through with telling shots.
Second round for the 10th and final round.
But, you know,
well, are we going to see them both absolutely go for it? Well, Buczynski on the front foot again, as she has been in the previous few rounds. Good hook from Taylor. Buczynski, undaunted, marches forward again.
So there's a solid jab lip for Buczynski. Cheered wildly by the Taylor camp.
Well, inside the final minute of this contest, a little bit of history made tonight at the Oldham Leisure Centre. The first time this super featherweight area title has been contested. It's the central area.
Well,
and everybody on their feet here.
From Buczynski, a left hook from Taylor. That's exactly the sort of fight it has been. Tit for tat. You know, one lands, then the other lands. You know, Buczynski's been on the front foot for a lot of this fight. Taylor boxing smartly and some nice counters.
Well, inside the final knockings, who will have the final say in this one? The crowd urge both women on. Buczynski wants to just get forward again, as she has been doing. She marches forward, and Taylor on the back foot. Both women celebrate. Both feel they've done enough. Well, an excellent advert. And both full of smiles now at the end of that contest. Well, maybe tight, Glenn, but the inevitable. What do you think?
Well, you know, very, very tight. You know, it could go either way. Lots of punches were missing. It was still a good competitive fight. You know, when you watch it in slow motion, you'll see the fights, how they fall short with lots of their punches. For me, I just slightly favor Buczynski.
And Steve Lillis has given it to Taylor 6-4, but again, but close. Each round was close. That's the way he sees it. So again, like you, wouldn't be surprised either way. But as it is, both are in the centre of the ring now. What has been a cracking contest. Let's cross then for our final time to our MC, Stephen Reed.
Ladies and gentlemen, before we get your referee Darren Sargenson's decision, let's once again please show appreciation for both boxers. After 10 rounds of championship action, your scoring referee Darren Sargenson scores the contest 86 points to 85 points. For your winner and your new Central Area Super Featherweight Champion, from Salford, Jade Blade Taylor. And your appreciation, please, for Lindsay Buczynski.
Well, it was tight, just a point in it, but Taylor gets the nod from our scoring referee, Darren Sargenson. Massive disappointment in Lindsay Buczynski's corner. She's in tears now. She put so much into that. Jade Taylor, just a judge to have just done that slightly better work, and Robert Rimmer's over there consoling Brzezinski as Jade Taylor celebrates with her fans. Well, it just shows you what it means to these two.
It's massive. It's massive. All the work they've put in, all the sacrifices they've made. So, you know, pleased for Jade Taylor, and commiserations for Lindsay Brzezinski. But neither one should worry that much about it. This fight will happen again, that's for sure. You know, they both did really, really well and kept the crowd entertained.
Well, at this stage as well, the two novice fighters. A defeat for Brzezinski, so what? And then she does have this agreement that she can call for the rematch should she want. It's that kind of fight.
Absolutely. You know, neither one was hurt. Neither one, you know, was under any sort of real pressure. You know, it was a bit of a chess match. You know, picking your shots where you could. And Brzezinski, you know, she tried really hard in that 10th round, which I thought would have just, you know, give her the edge, but it wasn't to be.
Well, Jade Taylor is all smiles as she leaves the ring. Such a lot of effort has gone into the contest. And Jade, the victor, she's made her way out of the ring. She's with Steve.
Jade Taylor, congratulations. First ever Central Area female champion. Must mean a lot to you and something that's always going to be in the history books.
Oh, definitely. Like, to one to top of the bill and this such like good venue and things like that. But like I say, for me and Lindsay to put a show on like that for the first ever Central Area title, hats off to both of us. It was a good fight. So.
People turn their noses up to women fighting for titles sanctioned by the British Boxing Board of Control. That 10 rounds stuck two fingers up to them, didn't it?
Yeah, definitely. Literally, like, both of us have only done 4 rounds, so I felt fit in there, but like say, like doing it in the gym in 10 rounds, 13 rounds fit, to then in an arena that's really hot and everyone else is like around watching and the lights are on you. It's two different things, but yeah, it was good to get in there. I think I've done something to my hand halfway through, but we're good to go. We're all right. We'll carry on going now.
At the end, when one point it was announced, was you surprised?
I think I knew it was going to be kind of close because we both are Kev's home fighters. I knew both of us were going to have to dig deep. I knew all along Lindsay was a good fighter anyway, so I think that's why I had to just pick her off, and she's strong, getting close and things like that. So yeah, I felt like I edged it a little bit more, like picking her off and things. But like you said, it's both our homes, so I knew it was going to be kind of neutral. So.
And do you hope now a fight like this will encourage the British Boxing Board of Control to allow women to fight for a British title?
I hope so, yeah. I hope it brings a lot more titles into the mix of things. It's just then you get to see the best of Britain to then move up, because we move up so quick, so it's easier to then see who's the best in Britain, then they move up, instead of like say every Tom, Dick and Harry kind of moving up to levels above that they're supposed to be. So I think it does see who's best like at different levels. So yeah, definitely.
Before we let you go, let Fightzone viewers know how you're going to celebrate.
I'm going to go home, give this to my little boy who's here with me now, and I'm going to go and show it to my mum at the grave tomorrow. So.
Well, congratulations and thanks for entertaining Fightzone viewers tonight. You both put up a tremendous fight.
Yeah, thank you very much. Thanks for having me.
Thanks very much.
Thank you.
Super featherweight champion is Jade Taylor. We're joined by promoter extraordinaire Dennis Hobson, very much Mr. Fightzone, and Glenn McCrory, of course. Dennis, first to you, straight back from Tenerife. Was it worth you cutting short your holiday?
Absolutely, and I said it earlier. I think fights like we've seen tonight, and especially obviously the main event, you know, without Fight Zone, they're not going to get aired, and the armchair viewer is not going to get to see, and that's all the whole purpose really of Fight Zone. But born out of shows like this are your Clinton Woods and your Jamie McDonald's and your Stuart Halls, who ended up going all the way with us. Obviously, I'm going to name them because I took them all the way to a world title. But this is where they're born, on shows like this.
Now, obviously, for the two women, it was a bit of history tonight, Glenn. But as Dennis says, we see the odd star, don't we? Did we see that in Callum Simpson tonight?
You know what? I think that sort of performance, you always look out for the stars, and normally against these tough journeymen, you know, a lot of kids, you know, they shine, but they're taking the distance and they learned a few lessons. Where Callum Smith, you know, the good ones, I remember watching Ricky when he was going through the journeymen, and you know, they were falling all over the place. And I just got that feeling a little bit with Callum Simpson tonight that, you know, he could be certainly one to watch, and there's definitely talent there.
Now, of course, Jay Taylor's stablemate, Jack Massey's here tonight. He's urging her on as well. He's in action at the end of the month, Dennis. Big plans for him. And just tell us, from your point of view, what's coming up on Fight Zone?
Well, we've got us two world champions, and, you know, you've been with us from day one, both of you guys, and, you know, within 6 months, 7 months, we'd got two world champions. Now, that wasn't in the script, but you know what we're like. If the opportunity arises, we make it happen. And so we've got Jack Massey in Bolton at the end of this month on the 30th, and then Anna Rankin at the Hydro, which is a massive, prestigious arena. And obviously both of you have been to some major events, and I put major events on, but that's one of the reasons why I'm in the game, because I want to go on the journey and be alongside and help manoeuvre kids onto the big stage, and that's what we're doing, especially first of all with Anna at the Hydro, but Jack's going to be involved in some major events, I can assure you.
Still as excited as ever, Glenn, about all these fights coming up?
Very much so. You know, it just gets better and better. You know, it's great to be out week in, week out, and seeing new young talent develop and then move on. And as Dennis says, to have two world champions so soon, that wasn't in the plans, but you know, that's just a measure of, you know, how far it's moving.
And as well as titles, because there's been every kind of title on Fight Zone, from area titles, English, British, world, European as well. What we have also seen is cracking 50-50s, and we got one tonight in Jack Fay and Lewis Palmer, which was an absolute belter, which we'll have to see again on Fight Zone, won't we?
Oh, absolutely. And you know, you go back to last week when we had the British title, the flyweight title. You know, I've been getting pushed on it tonight, but that's got to happen again. Like that fight tonight, fantastic fight, 50-50, and like I said earlier, you won't get to see that fight, the armchair viewer, unless you pay your money to come to an event like they have done tonight. But without Fight Zone, you won't get to see that, and that's what we're about. And there'll be more and more, so people who tune in are getting more than value for money. It's amazing entertainment for not just for us, but everybody all over the world, because we're global.
Well, gentlemen, it's been another pleasure, and we look forward to all the action coming up on Fight Zone. Thanks very much indeed for watching.